Let me get my notes real quick.
Fair warning.
What?
You're already drunk. ADD or ADHD? Nah, that's not happening. ADD or ADHD, I tend to not interrupt, but like I feel like if I don't say it, I'm gonna forget it. So if I interject, I just keep flowing with it. Like I'm not interrupting. I'm just like kind of like it's weird. It's a weird, but just you'll see what I mean. Like I do it naturally when we're like all hanging out with friends, but like just so it doesn't like if you're saying something and I'm like yeah, I'll agree with like a portion of it. And like, but I'm like, keep going. Like,
I think you're just talking like I think you just like you're saying it like I think everyone does that.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of been like
you're
I'm
just
following
letting
along,
me know.
Because like some people, I don't know, they get and it varies right across the board, but they get like offended when you say something as they're talking instead of them like they're like it messes them up, and I'm like, my bad. Like I won't like I try not to, but like it's just a normal reaction I have.
I think it's funny you bring that up because I think just. As for me, like since I do the podcast so much, that's like the number one thing I've learned about people is they don't like to interrupt, but they interrupt without doing it on purpose, without noticing it. And you like, for a while I would get butthurt at people because I'm like, I would say like a full on thing, a story or something, and they'd be like, yeah, dude, this one time reminds me, this one time, and I'm like, oh, so everything I just said you didn't hear none of it.
Door, yeah.
But like now that you're explaining it to me, I'm like, that makes sense. Like you heard everything I'm saying. And you process it, whatever. But at the same time, you have something that you have to get out because, like you said, your mental disorder.
It's almost like my mental disorder does a lot of shit. No, it's almost
cheers,
like
cheers,
brother. Appreciate you having me on. By the way,
for sure, man.
It's like man.
That's good.
The tequila's
Matthew McConaughey. Shout out Matthew McConaughey.
For real. Hey, I mean, like I said, I trusted it because he's pretty good about sourcing his. I feel like he's a genuine. If he goes into a food and a topic, I don't know if you've watched any of his like YouTube or like even TV shit.
I've seen him on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he explains about like even his tuna salad recipe.
That was on. Yeah.
And he's like, if you try it, like it's actually really good, but it's weird. But it's like okay, he has to really go through a lot of variations of things to be like, okay, that's the right way to do something. So when you understand that, I feel like in one aspect you can kind of apply it to others and. Like this is one thing that he says he's passionate about, so I kind of trusted it on it. I do like his acting though. You know?
See, and that's the thing that what you're saying is like, because you're pretty much like, he's convinced me his genuine self is a person that truly cares about a product that he puts out and stuff. You say that, but when I think that way about certain actors and stuff and actresses, but then I'm like, you got to remember what's their job.
To make you
act.
Believe, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, I never know what what I'm saying. Like, I at this point, I'm like thinking there are some and like big like actors and actresses that everywhere they go, they're like, I'm acting like everywhere they go, they're trying to act like something.
They have to be that character.
Yes. So like for instance, like the other day I was on Joe Rogan. They had Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Yeah. Love them both. Anything they're in. I'll watch it. If they were to make tequila or vodka, I would just be like, I love what they do. I love their acting. I love their movies. I love the person they seem to be. So I trust them in this product. But as I was watching that or listening to that episode, I'm like, oh, these guys are just down to earth, cool guys. And then I'm like, wait a minute. What if before they went on this podcast, they're like, this is a big podcast. Our role today is to be cool guys that everyone loves. So let's act that.
I'm glad you brought that up because like one of the things that they brought up was like
you can bring the mic closer actually.
Was like the AI stuff.
You can pull it too. That way you don't have to lean forward.
I don't want to manhandle it.
Oh no, please.
So like one of the things that like Ben Affleck brought up was like the AI stuff, and it wasn't like okay, he was kind of talking good and bad about it and crazy, but I felt like he just kind of like researched it right before the podcast just to be able to talk about it. It's a relevant topic because like he was saying some stuff that was. Yeah, like somewhat relevant, but this stuff is changing so often, and it's really about like how you're talking to it, how you interact with it, that the feedback gives back. But it's not just like a Gemini or ChatGPT. This goes way deeper. Like I work directly in that right now, and so like that's where like I help people understand where it comes into play and how to like utilize it with the jobs that I'm doing and the finance stuff. But like at the end of the day, it's way more intricate than just writing a prompt out. And then being like, oh, give me a movie script. You have to like understand really what you're asking it. Mm-hmm. And even when it comes to certain crafts, I feel like you have to understand the right question. Like the movie I, Robot, there's a scene that he's just like continuously asking stuff. And he's like, that's not the right question. That's not the right question. Like
you're not asking it the right way.
The hologram dude, right?
Yeah.
And then once he asks the right question, he's like, that is the right question. And he disappears. But it's about the concept about questioning the whole thing around it, I guess.
See, and so let me get this straight. You're saying that, so like in using like ChatGPT and all that stuff, like it's one thing to know how to use it. It's another thing to like know what prompt to say it in order to get it to do what you want it to.
Let's relate it even back to like the tequila.
Okay.
Going back and sourcing where it comes from, what makes a good tequila, what elements. So when you understand what elements, you understand what like you understand what questions to ask. Before that, like you kind of just surface level, like where do I go? But once you question the direction of why you even want to go somewhere,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, like that gives me meaning as to like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I want to do. So you drive it in a different way. Like you really ingrain it in whatever element you're looking into.
Oh, okay. And so for what you do for work, how do like you use AI and all that stuff in your daily work or what?
I sell it AI. It helps me in my daily job too. But like in finance, it's basically my job is, so I do mortgages, financial, like for regular, like single family home stuff.
Oh, okay.
But my main like day-to-day 9 to 5, I work for a commercial lending company that's also like a marketing company. So it kind of sits in a weird little like gray area when it comes to like compliance and being able to do these loans, because they're not regulated by the same things, because they're not going to regular people, they're going to businesses.
Yeah.
So the way we utilize the AI and software, it just helps loan officers and brokers grow their business without really having to do a lot of the front end stuff. It takes them years to learn.
So for you to take on a job that markets and like the goal is like to use AI to promote AI, so how far like have you known about AI? Like have you gotten into AI like way before it was like, because I feel like within the past 2-3 years it's became very big, especially.
Oh, yeah.
And it's obviously gotten better a lot quick than a lot of people are saying. But I mean, to take a job in that, you must have known about AI, because you seem like someone that, not like a nerd, but someone that's like very interested in like futuristic things.
New development. I want to be on the
yes.
cutting edge of.
Yeah.
I like learning about. Exactly. Yeah. So, I guess it took a few years, because when I first left U of A, I ended up working at this software company in Scottsdale, and I didn't ever think I was going to just go be a sales rep somewhere, but that software transcended across construction, plumbing, electricians, and it really changed their day to day. Like it was real. There's real dollars that were being made, but from what we were selling to people, and I was like, oh, there's a big. I wouldn't say market, but there's a lot of benefit when it can come to people's day to day, their daily jobs that this system can help with, and it's just literally a program someone created in the back office, not like but that's ideally, right? Like an IT person just created this software, and we're selling it, intangible product. I'm like, dang, that's kind of cool. Like you can learn something in a way that then is going to change someone's life, and you have no grasp around them, and it's doing these things for them. And you have to learn the product, understand where it can, and learn what a plumber does, what an electrician does, what a construction guy does, their day to day, so you can really apply yourself. But that's why I was like, man, this is an interesting topic. And I always understood like IT to be one of those things that in business, you know, you can use it for something that it helps you, but when I really got my hand on it, I was like, man, I don't even understand how to build it. I'm not in IT. I can communicate with people, and I can use that to transcend across it. So the more I understood the software, my product, and what I do, so I just over time got really into software. GPS, it was like a GPS software. Did that for a few years, then I got into finance, and then I got to this after I did the finance stuff. I got into this company that back into software. They tracked software developers like Google, Chase Bank, like all that.
What do you mean tracked them? Like tracked what?
So when an IT developer clocks into work, they're like doing all this code, and whether they're in front end or back end, and like if someone is in IT they'll attest to this, but they have different levels of the job. Like the front end is like I'm creating it, the creative, like, let's build the website, let's build this infrastructure. The back end's like security. And it's not really a universal way to track their productivity. Like it's a whole different, like, it's like trying to say how much effort does it take to speak in each language? Like you can't really, in Spanish and English and French and German, it's like way different stuff. So we used these algorithms, and I had to like basically explain this to people, but we could track their productivity on an hourly basis and put a dollar figure for these companies. We're like, every hour, this is what this person is worth, or what they're costing, or what their commit is, or
okay.
Per project, per code source, per language, however you want to split it. So we'd implement it into like a 10,000 person company, and we could understand everything. So that's where I had to really ingrain and learn software, like really learn it.
Yeah, it's very in depth with that shit though.
And talk to like
that's pretty cool though.
20-year executives and sell them on something I've just learned like 6 months ago. But like I that's the kind of like, that's where I really got down to the nitty gritty about what software is, how it works, and AI would come up. And it was like 2022 when I first started in that. And then so kind of like utilize the knowledge from that. An opportunity came up in this realm that kind of blended my finance experience with the software. And that's why I was comfortable doing it.
So you say finance, so you're good in math?
I'd say so. I mean, like what do you determine as good as math? You know?
I know, and that's funny because I'm so bad at math that anyone that's better than me is to me is smart
like
at math.
You want me to like 13 times 13, like 169. Okay, like stuff like
you know
that.
what? And to me, you're smart because
but it's just pattern recognition. That's not being smart. Understanding math is like make this ball into that trash can over there, and it's like okay, like what. Like, how do I get this into that? Like, you got to calculate so many things. That's what basketball players and athletes do without even realizing it. So I think there's a component of like, do I understand math or can I apply math?
You know? Oh, okay. Well, I don't understand it and I can't apply it, so that's why.
Well, neither or the other.
Dude, like I'm so bad at math. Like, so like all through high school, I cheated in math class specifically. Like,
I would say you're good at math. You're controlling your.
I'm a problem solver.
Exactly. You're making the probabilities of passing the class better for yourself. That's a good math. That's a problem solver right there. You know,
bro. So I cheated all through high school in math. And so then when it finally came to like what are the big tests you take in high school at the end of the year?
Oh, ACT.
Yeah, shit like that, bro. I did terrible. I never properly learned how to even do like long division. I'm not even lying to you. I did this to myself. I cheated so much that I never learned anything. So my first year in college, I was like, I'm gonna fail every math class.
You made it to college though, you know? I think.
Yeah, you're right. I guess.
At the end of the day,
like, no, it was junior college.
Besides, I mean, it's a step.
You literally just put your name on the thing, and they're like,
everyone's got their own journey. Because some people get there super fast and then fall, and it's like, well, they're even further back than I was, and I took a longer route. You know, so you never really know.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think it's like okay. Well, besides the ACT, SAT, did you have any other instance where it kicked you in the butt cheating through college for math? Or through college, through high school?
In high school, no. Just that was the time when I noticed, like, damn, I really should have paid attention. Because I'm telling you, everything I was able to cheat in. If it wasn't like a big test like that, if it was like a final, whatever, anything in below.
What do you mean you were able to cheat in? Like, what was your?
So method? What would happen? So one of the main ones, there was probably other ones, but one of the main ones that a lot of us did was they would really try to make sure we didn't cheat. So for one, they would have like 2 or 3 different versions of a test.
Okay. Yeah.
So then, and obviously we had periods. I had not so many friends, but I knew a lot of people enough to be like, okay, if you're going to take the test in first period, someone's going to get all the answers. And this comes from a badass, nerdy person. This comes from someone that is smart. They're doing the work. They know what they're doing. So they're like, you're going to get at least a B plus, an A minus or a B plus, something, you know? So if you put these answers. And so like, what they would do is they would get all the versions of those. So then as the periods went on, they'd pass them around. And to get them from like person to person, what you would do is, remember the calculators? Not so much, I mean, I guess a graphing calculator.
Yeah.
But the ones that had the little cover, you'd slide them in there.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the cover, you'd slide the answers in there. You'd fold them in a little tiny piece of paper. I'm talking like when you unfolded it, it was probably this long, but like a thin strip. And it was like 1 A, 2D, 3.
You
And then
put it in there.
like maybe the last 5 questions you had to either write out your work or you had to like draw the triangle and put the fucking numbers in and stuff.
Yeah.
They would draw that out on there. So you'd have it all on there and you just do it real quick. You'd probably finish your test in like 2-3 minutes, and then you would just for 10, 15, 20 minutes you would act like you're working on a thing, going back, making it seem like you didn't do one, so you're working on that one. So you would just figure your way out, and I did that through everything. And I got lucky my junior year, which was I think when I took, and I was so behind. In my freshman year, I took pre-algebra.
Wait, of college?
In high school.
Oh, I don't think that's that far behind.
It's not, but that's like if I'm not mistaken, when you went from 8th to high school, like freshman year, you should at least be in like I think it was like algebra. And then it was algebra like 1, 2 or something. And then you got like geometry and then you got pre-cal. Yeah. You know, the smart people were taking calculus their senior year because they were taking fucking algebra 2 freshman year. And so they just sped everything up. I was like, they were like, bro, like you're so like behind. Like we're going to have to reteach you 8th grade math and then work you back up. And I already knew it was going to fuck me college wise because my senior year, I was technically not going to have like, I was going to be in, I don't know, whatever, like, not even pre-cal. I didn't even make it to pre-cal. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, so my junior year, whatever math I was taking then, we got a brand new teacher. He was this cool dude. I talked about him multiple times. His name was Mr. Gertenbach. Mr. Gertenbach. He was this white redhead dude, super ripped. He was like a college swimmer from Penn State.
That's what I call controlling your future. You got to do that with that kind of last name.
Gertenbach? Yeah, you do. But so he went to like Penn State, everything. Really cool guy. Not from around here or nothing. And this was in California, but he was like from somewhere else. And he didn't let you cheat, but he was just like, I'm going to teach you everything. I'm going to give you all the answers to everything. When you take the test, when you take the finals, you can use all your notes. It was more of just like
absorbing the knowledge.
Yeah.
Those are the best teachers.
Right?
Yeah.
But and I want to say I did get to a point where I think I did learn something, but had I did that with a teacher from like freshman year up, I probably would have really learned math. But that year,
how much effort were you in high school? Like as a kid growing up, did you really like dedicate yourself to
like grow my brain?
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like even if it was there, it's like okay, like I know.
I can't remember, but I'm assuming I was more like, I know I just got to get through this high school bullshit to continue life. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I took it as like, you know, really learn something when you go to this class, really pay attention, get something out of this. I think I ever did that. I was doing everything just to make everyone happy and just get me out of here and move on with my life. I knew it wasn't. I knew it was like a small percentage of my life.
It's almost like unless you know exactly what you want to do, like I really want to work at being a lawyer or a doctor or like an engineer or like something that you really specifically need all these degrees for. Like, what do you go there like, damn, this is a lot of options. Like you're putting me in front of this situation, making me pay $20,000-$30,000 for something I don't even know I want. And I think that's the issue, like in terms of college and how it works. Cause like I've gone through all of it and I did change my major a few times, but like, I feel like I learned the most growing up through middle school and high school with the right teachers and showing me how to learn rather than the actual content of what I learned throughout.
That's a good
college,
point.
You know?
Yeah. High school should be more like teaching you how to have study skills and learning skills and how to take notes, stuff like that. But it shouldn't be so much like, really learn how to do, all your. But it's weird though, because maybe because you surround yourself with it so much, even without trying, you eventually learn stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People learn where to put periods, where to put commas, apostrophes sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But like, what I'm saying is like something like that is, yes, I know I should know this stuff, but you're just around it so much, they have you write papers, they have you read books that you're like, it eventually just, whether you want to learn it or not, it's going to go in your brain. You're like, somehow I know where this period goes.
It's like, you can look at it that way because, and that's how most people, and myself too, like I've grown up, like you're kind of built into this routine of like, okay, do it until like fake it till you make it almost kind of thing. Like, like this is what a sentence is. This is here. And it's like beating it into your head, which is, it works. It's great. Like it helps you pass tests because it's like standardized. But like what is it teaching you about being a human being? You know, like about like your life and what you're actually going to go through. It's really not much because you really start learning when you're 18, like when you leave high school and be like, okay, now what?
Dude,
it's like,
and I've heard this before with other people, but like, it's very true. Like, I wish some weird way, I don't know how another life would have to figure this out, but like if they would, like if you didn't have to, like you didn't have to go to high school until you were like 21 or 22, because I want to say around 25, 26 was when like those boring subjects in school interest me now. Yeah. So I'm like, dude, like that's all it was. Like they were trying to fill my little brain with so much when I'm just trying to learn how to live day by day, not so much survive, but just, learn about who I am and stuff. And on top of that, you're trying to teach me how to, learn about math in case I ever need it for this, learn about how to write in case I ever decide to write a book, learn how to, science in case I ever decide I want to be a scientist. All this random shit is getting thrown at me. And I don't even care about this. The thing that does interest me is playing, hanging out with, my friends, seeing chicks, going to movies, doing fun stuff right now. So it's really hard to get me to think like this is for your future. Fuck my future, man. I'm so young right now. I can't even think about my future. Yeah. I can't even, like when I was a freshman, I remember when I was a freshman, you'd see the classes roll through. Yeah. As a freshman, you'd start seeing seniors doing senior events. And I remember like, they go to senior night and all this stuff. And I was like, man, that seems like so far from now that I'm going to be doing that. Now I'm such an adult that I'm like, dude, 2030 is a lot, 2030 is very close. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like, damn, that's so far. It's in a couple years, few years
coming around.
Exactly. We're getting that. So I'm just saying, like in high school though, it was crazy. They were trying to get me to look forward to my future when I was like, bro, I can't wait for this weekend. Like, I'm just looking forward to this weekend. I don't know anything past that. And maybe that's just me as a dumb kid. Or not, and maybe there was a lot more smarter kids around me that were like, they understood the value of school. Yeah. But I truly believe, I think school was one of those things that I was like, if they were like, you don't have to go to school, then of course, like a lot of people wouldn't go. I don't know. I don't know a kid that would be like, fuck yeah, I want to do that. I want to have homework. I want to.
Yeah, I mean, I never don't get me
deadlines.
Wrong. I was a good student. I just never liked doing homework. I never went to class, but I graduated with like a 3.6.
You're one of those guys.
But it's because I got treated differently, just luckily, because I could kick a freaking ball. Like literally, that was the only thing. Because and growing up, right, like middle school, high school, I took education pretty serious. Like had like AP classes and like that kind of stuff. But it like I felt like I never really got to enjoy really being a kid. Like I was always at practice. I was always grinding. And once I had like the opportunity, I was like, damn. That's crazy. Like there's a lot of benefit of doing this, but also it's learning to manage all like the balance of life, right? Because then at the other end of it, like I really wasn't enjoying myself. Like I and don't get me wrong, I love working out and being in sports and all the appreciation of life through it. But when it comes to like the recruitment process and everything I went through, I was like, man, that wasn't the greatest. Like, it kind of took a toll on me at the end of the day. But that's long term,
Yeah, and you brought that up, and we should probably. I haven't even done an intro. We just got into it, and this is good. I love this. But guys, welcome back to another episode of the Slavs in the Pod. I'm your host Jordan. To my left today, yes, it is my left, guys. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. On camera, stage left. Whatever you say, you know what I'm saying.
I wouldn't trust Sage's directions. I saw that last time. He was like, "Left, isn't it right? Isn't it left?" It's like,
yeah, dude, he's so bad.
The camera flips around.
Exactly. In the moment, he's like, "All right, whatever you say." I'm like, "Trust me, it makes sense." But guys, I have. I was gonna say Kelvin Gastelum. I have Edgar Gastelum with me today.
That gets brought up a lot too, by the way. But no, yes, Edgar. How you
but yeah, guys, and the reason I remember to do an intro is because you were slowly creeping into. I wouldn't say the main reason you're here, but I want to say since I've met you, that's probably the one thing that I was like, wait, what? So yeah, when we first met, I had learned that you went to ASU, you played football for ASU, and you were the kicker. So that's all I knew about you, and then that's why I was telling you before we started. I was like, I don't think we have really talked about your football career, or I haven't really learned much about you other than just like we hang out. I have fun conversation with you, but about other not bullshit, but other random stuff. Yeah. And I love the conversation. Yeah. And I love the conversation, and I'm like, this guy's cool. He's a friend now. And then I was like, well, I do want to get you on the podcast. And on the drive over here, I was like, there's so many questions because I don't know as much as we hang out. Like I don't know those like the big things about you. I just know that you did play college football, which is already a big thing. You played for ASU, right?
Yep. Well, I played ASU and at U of A. I also played here at Arizona Western. So
shit. Okay,
Arizona boy when I was growing up.
Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so high school, right?
Yeah.
So you played football. So how long have you been playing football? Actually, did you ever play Pop Warner?
No.
Flag football. None of
Started
that.
my sophomore year, but it's growing up, right? Like soccer was the thing I played, and I was lucky that like the soccer coach was an assistant football coach, and that same coach was also he happened to have kicked in college, so like he kind of guided me in that direction. He's like, dude, like you could literally get your education paid for and all this stuff, because he saw me like I was my freshman year of high school. I was like on varsity, and I did break my collarbone. Luckily, I still made the varsity team, but like I was probably one of the only, if not the only, freshman on the varsity team that year.
Oh shit!
And so that same summer, the coach is like badgering me. He's like, dude, we need a kicker. I was like I'm literally playing in Mexico. I have a travel team, all this stuff. Like soccer was my life, like literally. And so when we were doing this summer practice stuff, the head coach for the football team, which at the time was one of my closest friends' dad, and he's like, dude, we need a kicker. I know you have practice and all this stuff. If you're good enough, just come to games, like do your thing. But we really need help. And I was like, all right, I'll go. I'll go to practice tomorrow. So I'll go to Sports Authority when it was open here in town, and I get a ball.
Oh, Sports Authority, that's
and
right.
a tee, and I go to the elementary school like across the street from my house, and like I'm literally just like testing it. Never done this before in my life.
Did you watch football? You know anything about football?
Yeah,
at the time?
yeah. I watched it like it was on TV, like the Super Bowls
Okay.
and stuff like that. So like I had an understanding of it, and I did play. Like I liked to play it like, when I was growing
fun,
up. Like
yeah.
like flag
The street
football
and
and
shit.
stuff.
Yeah.
And in the street, like our neighborhood, diehard like street football players, like but nothing like we would tackle each other and like that. So
I grew up on that shit. Yeah, street ball. Yeah. Fun.
And-
Real quick. Hopefully you don't lose your train of thought. Fun fact: one time, me and my buddy were in the alleyway. We were little kids, and probably like 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
We almost started a fire in the alley because we were playing with matches, throwing them onto dry brush. We nothing would light. We were trying to light a little fire, but just to like light it, and put it out. Nothing would light. Left down the road. Little do we know, a fire ended up starting later on. These two kids that were in their backyard were like, they stomped it out, whatever, somehow. We went back around maybe an hour later because we could see the smoke rising in the thing. Went back around an hour later, and they saw us. They were sitting on their fence, and they're like, and they were like, I remember they're like these little redneck kids. They're like, you almost burned our house down.
Yeah, in my house.
And I was like, man, shut up. We didn't do nothing. We just saw the smoke. We came to check it out. And they're like, no, we saw you guys lighting matches back here, and we going to tell on you. So we were like, you better fucking not. So then, whatever, we go out, and now we're in the front of their house, in front of our house, and we're in the street. Me and him are just playing football. And they come out, and they're like, can we play with you? And we're like, if you don't tell us, we'll let you play. So then from that point on, it was like a bunch of us just we'd all play football in the streets and stuff. So
can I light one of them fire sticks too?
Yeah, you gonna fucking tell us?
No, dude, but yeah, like that's.
So that's the extent of football.
I'm a big pyro too, by the way. But
oh, dude,
we'll get back on that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, yeah. So like, and the coach comes into practice, right? And he's like, come on. Like I'm like, all right. So I go get the ball. I put it on the goal. Like for soccer, like it's the 100. I don't know if this is a regulation field, by the way, but I hit the whole field. I was like, what the? I was like, I don't know if that's normal.
On a tee.
On a tee, it's a kickoff.
Yeah.
I was running up and trying to get a kickoff going, and I look it up I'm like, how far did kickoffs go? Dude, this like, I counted out, just step in. I'm like, dude, I'm booting this motherfucker. like there's no way I'm getting already the same distance like I would need to get to college. Like literally that's like my first kicks. And now, okay. So like, I was like, I don't know how it's going to be, but then I go to the practice, and from the first one, like that's my most consistent thing, by the way, even like in soccer, my whole life, you know how there's a goal kick and the goalie like goes up and kicks it. And then like, and if you watch soccer, like the goalie's the one kicking the goal kicks, like the one that goes out of bounds out of back.
Goal kicks.
Yeah.
Oh,
if it goes out of bounds, like out of the
Mm-hmm.
the north or south end,
They get to put on the corners.
Exactly.
And
The goalies are usually the ones kicking it.
Yeah.
I've always been the one kicking it.
So my bad. Soccer. Yeah. What was your position in soccer?
I was sweeper, so I was last man. So I was the guy in front of the goalie, like the safety, basically.
Defense.
Yeah. Okay. But like love playing that shit. And when
I was the wings.
Yes, I would. If you played with me, I would find you on a dime from free. I could find you from the whole field, which is the thing. Like, I could hit a goal kick accuracy into the other box. Like, there wasn't any kind of free kick was an offensive chance for us. So that was my thing. Everything else, like, I was all right. I could defend in here and there, but like that was like the main reason
clearing
I was
it
a weapon.
or getting it back.
Yeah, and I could shoot too. But I was like, why is he the last man? But like, I'm usually that was the thing, and so like that was a pretty similar thing from football. Like the kickoff guy, you know, and so like that's where the experience came from. So I just literally just hit the ball the same way I would hit a soccer ball, and the football goes way further, but it's a smaller.
The football goes further.
Yeah, well, in the air, the soccer ball goes further like distance wise
because it rolls.
But the football's like it just flies, and when you hit it right, I don't know, it feels like butter, dude. Like it's just one of these things that it has this sweet spot that you have to learn to like. Find it. Like it's not just like you can't kick a ball like, oh, this is gonna be perfect. Like you have to kind of it's the whole thing around math and physics. Like where is the best position to hit this ball to get that going. But there's like these, and I didn't go to the trainings till I was a junior. But once I got to my junior year, like I started playing my sophomore year varsity, just like did kickoffs and punt. Like punting was trash at first, honestly. Like it took me a while to really get used to it. But once I learned how to like really catch the ball and then place it. I was number one when I got to JUCO. Like I went to junior college too, so you weren't the only one.
Nice.
But when I got to junior college, and I got to transfer, I was number one.
AWC or
yeah. So and that's a whole other thing too. Like growing up out of high school, I did have a lot of big offers. I ended up staying. I was being, I guess like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't want to leave. Maybe it was the girl I was with that I didn't want to leave, and then we ended up breaking up anyways. But
yeah,
I didn't end up signing with the D1. Signing day passed, which is usually in February back in the day. I don't know if it still is now. And like actually no, it was coming up. Like it was like a week prior. Every offer got pulled, and I'm like, crap. It's like I'm about to sign with a school in LA, a junior college too. But they're like, come here, and then you can go to another school. And I was like, dang, I had forgotten, honestly, that Arizona Western gave me an offer, and what happened is that the reason I forgot is because they didn't send me an email. They didn't call me. They went to the game against Gila Ridge my senior year.
What high school did you go to, by the way?
Cibola.
Okay.
CHS. Cibola Raiders right here, yeah.
That's funny. And I went, in California, I went to a school, CHS, but it was Calipatria High School.
Calipatria.
Yeah.
What were you guys' mascot?
A hornet. Not a bee. It was a hornet.
I would think it was like a Greek god or something, you know? Cleopatra, that's different.
Yeah, I didn't get Cleopatra.
But so at Western, man, I actually kind of lost my train of thought on that one.
Oh, my bad.
No. Where were we at? So.
Oh, the game you played against Gila Ridge.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, I didn't get like emails or like calls. Like, I didn't even know there was coaches in the stands, but I played against Gila Ridge, and dude, it was kind of funny because usually, you know, there's people scoring on both ends of it. I scored all 21 points that game, and we beat them 21-16.
Oh shit! So you won the game for them.
And the coach, like from Western, his name's Tom Minnick. Shout out Tom Minnick too. But he came down to the field, and he's like, "I know you have different schools looking at you. Whatever. If you ever want to place at home, you have an offer here, full ride. Won't even question." I was like, "That's pretty cool." I didn't realize they were the number one school in the country at the time.
AWC
and junior college. They came out in Last Chance University against Eastern Mississippi. Like El Toro Bowl is in Last Chance University on Netflix.
The show.
The show, yeah.
I need to watch that. I see clips and stuff.
It's a good show. A lot of that.
Go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna check something real quick.
A lot of that whole like time of like Eastern Mississippi, Arizona, all those schools. It's like it's gone now, which it's unfortunate because it brought up a lot of NFL players and different like just athletes, and now they just didn't have funding, so ended up closing the program. And
at AWC,
Western, Scottsdale, all those schools, but like it showcases what it used to be, and dogs. Like even now, I think so. I don't know if we're old now. Like this is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So I was playing with I think now the only one that's still playing is Keyshawn Nixon from the Packers. So
He played with
us here.
Oh shit!
It might have been my freshman year. It might have been sophomore year. But he was one of the guys that he's like, this guy's gonna go like do something.
Oh shit!
But like we had some really good players. Randy Gregory played with us before he got drafted by the Cowboys. But that was like 2 years before he went to Nebraska. So like there's real athletes coming out of the school. I didn't even know, and I'm over here like talking to the coach like, oh, thank you, like just. You know,
You're like, yeah, that sounds cool, man.
Yeah, literally.
I'll think about it. Thanks, man.
And it changed that saved my career. Deadass.
So, how many what other offers did you have before? Before he even approached you.
So Texas A&M, University of Florida, Akron,
shit.
Cincinnati. Like I had a lot of big schools, and whether they were walk-on or full rides, like they're literally just waiting for me to pick for signing day. But once it got closer, they dropped it.
They dropped you, like they dropped your offer
Pretty much.
with you?
But I had good grades. It was before it was in high school.
So you had the grades, and they wanted you to play there.
Yeah. But once you don't make a decision, and they make a decision on somebody else, that's what happened.
To fill the spot.
Yeah, there was another kicker that just took the offer.
You just didn't sign in time, or whatever.
In time, yeah.
So at the time, then, was there anyone you were like, I kind of want to go play with them?
So there was some schools, but they never. There had some preferred walk-ons out of state, and I was like, damn. So preferred walk-on is they don't pay for it. You have to go in and pay for it. Like be part of the school. Then they'll be like, all right, you're on the team.
You try out though, right? Walk-on?
You're already a walk-on is a tryout. Preferred walk-on, you don't have to try out. You're already on the team. You just have to go.
Preferred, okay.
Yeah, so they'll give you the designation and be like, all right, like get his classes and everything in order. So you're still registering to the team.
So then, okay, so when the coach from AWC approaches you, so up until that point. You after high school, you weren't.
I was still in high school, yeah. So,
and what the sophomore, junior?
This is senior year.
Oh, senior. Okay, so
yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
I had these schools already. Right?
So that's what I'm saying. So when he came and approached you, where were you already going at that point? Before
in my head,
you?
I'm like, dang, I was waiting for something else a little closer, but I was like, I really want to go because the full ride was Akron and Cincinnati. The other two were preferred,
Ohio.
So Texas and Florida.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, damn, do I want to go to and I was ranked because my junior year in high school, they sent me to this camp. And, well, it was at first the ASU one, but after the ASU one, they sent me to Wisconsin. And then there I got ranked top 10 in the country.
Oh, shit.
So, I was on, ESPN top athlete, in high school. I'm like, dude, as a kicker, I'm over here with basketball players, track runners, football guys. I'm, number 20 in Arizona, overall athlete. I'm like, okay, I'm a kicker, but yeah. I could kick the fuck out the ball. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but so and that's the thing too is going back to how they found you is obviously through soccer. I mean, I want to say a lot, if not most, football kickers in general come from soccer. I know when I played high school, that's who our kicker was, a soccer player.
They have some background,
and that's all he did.
Or rugby. And you know what's funny?
Yeah, but rugby, that makes sense. Rugby makes sense.
It's a sport that should be called football, honestly.
Yeah,
because they're actually playing with their foot. But anyways, that's a whole other topic. But there was a Australian at Arizona Western right before I got there, and he was still on the team when I got there my freshman year. He's just a linebacker too. Oh, so they just he's an Australian, he can kick. Dude, he got top 5 worst plays on ESPN nationwide because he hit a punt and it went backwards for a safety.
Oh, how'd that happen?
Because he hit it like a rugby kick and it went. And I don't know if you noticed, in December around and they don't do El Toro anymore, but during that season it was always windy that game. Both games I played El Toro, super windy, and I guess his game was windy too. It's super hard to kick in the wind, especially punting.
I've seen, yeah.
So you got to grab it. There's a lot of variables that are going on. So the wind just makes it. He just happened to whiff it, hit the line, and just spun and literally gave the other team 2 points on a kick.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's that's when they're they never gave scholarships to kickers before. Western, they're we need because of that. They're we need a kicker.
We need to give a scholarship.
And that's what they gave. I was the only kicker on scholarship. Even afterwards, they never scholarshiped any kickers. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. I think Claudio got scholarshiped.
Damn. So with kicking, it just seems crazy because you said you didn't play football till your sophomore year or junior year.
Sophomore of high school, yeah.
Okay, sophomore. So
my junior year is when I did the camp. So that's when I got serious about it.
It's just crazy. It's one of those things where it's a lot of people do say well, you were just a kicker, kicking. from a fucking Monday morning quarterback stance, like like kicking seems like anyone can do it, but and kind of when you're talking, you're kind of proving a point where it's like, I mean, I didn't really play football, I never really kicked. I did play soccer, I was good at kicking a soccer ball,
Yeah.
but I just played football my sophomore year, and look at me, I made it to college football. And there's people in another position, quarterback, wide receiver, linebacker, free safety, something where they've been doing that. That was their goal as a Pop Warner kid. They played and they were like, I'm going to play in the NFL.
Thing,
and they went through all that and maybe made it
no
to
child
college.
that's like, I want to be a kicker. When I grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the more I got to the elite levels, like these guys are monsters. Like every punter and kicker, I'm not playing, had the strongest power snatch and deadlift
Makes
and
sense.
squats.
Yeah, totally
and I'm like,
makes sense.
dude, these guys are like, they don't look too crazy, but like there's a reason they're booting that ball. Like it takes a lot of power to get it off. And if you're around somebody that can really hit it, you feel the impact in your chest and the ball goes off. And I still coach like with the NFL guys and the college guys, and they ask me to like, go help them in organizations and stuff. They call it Cole's Kicking. But like they're top notch, and they have every NFL team has players from them. So like every time they come into Arizona, they hit me up and they're like, "Yo, we need people," and it's cool as hell because you get to kick with like back in the day, like with Marquette King and like all these other guys that they just, you watch them on the NFL and it's like, holy crap, they're monsters, and they're out here like just booting the ball, kicking in the field by themselves.
So then going back to high school, so like when your sophomore year, once you became a kicker and you started playing football with him, did you have to quit soccer, or you just did both, or?
It took a while, so
Because you could have done both, right? Because they're in different seasons.
growing up, like I ended up playing a little bit in Mexico, like for pretty like super competitive. I was part of the state team because I have a dual citizenship.
Nice. So you can own property in Mexico.
I can.
Nice.
Yes, that's when my parents did it. Have the options. But yeah, so like growing up, I actually played in travel team ball with the Mexico City, like the San Luis team, the state team, and then we're gonna recruit for U16 Mexico national team for like the main state tournaments. We'd go to these like sanctioned games, and I guess that's how people like move up through the ranks. And I was one of those players that like I had some teams, but I really wasn't a crazy standout as much as I was in football. And soccer people, like I had teams watching me like, dude, this guy's like, there's something, but it wasn't like, okay, like bring him on, like, like it was like, keep watching him. Football was like, we need him, like, and it was one of those things that I was like, I'm gonna weigh my options into what the most logical thing is here. And if I go the soccer route, I'm not gonna be able to do school in Mexico. Like they don't pay for your school or do anything. You're stuck. Football, I'm like, it's not my passion, but I know what I'm doing with it. And it became over time something I really loved. But like it was a business decision for me to go into football. Like and decide I'm gonna stop playing soccer, especially after 2 knee surgeries and it messing up my body over time. Because I was playing so much.
Soccer.
Like, legitimately like 6 teams at a time.
Yeah.
So from practice to games to everything, it was just way too much. And that's where I was like, growing up, I spent so much time just focusing on that, not being a kid, low key. So like now as an adult, I like being a kid, but I know how to focus, right? Like, and I that's where like on my job and what I'm doing, like the finance end of it, it's a lot of detailed, very intricate stuff that, I'm like easy going and chill, but like some of that stuff is pretty serious and I have to be able to lock in. Like there's regulation and legal stuff and all this stuff that like most people usually already makes them nervous in general. Like it's just part of business. Like you just gotta do it. And that's kind of led me into like as a kicker, you kind of have to have ice in your veins and not really care about what the crowd is saying or doing because you got 60,000 people watching you, wanting you to mess up.
Well, and not only that, but like I would say the kicker is one of those big positions where you could either win a game or lose a game. You could be a hero or you could be the most hated fucking player on the team.
Yeah.
And I mean, it happens all the time. We see it all the time in the NFL.
Just Tyler Luke for the Ravens. He's one of the guys that he would come and like we coached together when he was about to get recruited like for the combine like last year or 2 years ago. And he's the kicker that just missed the final kick for the Ravens that didn't let them go to the playoffs. So he was getting death threats. He was like getting all this crazy stuff. And that's like a reality. Like it's crazy. Like people react that way, but like it's still happening to that person, like
But I mean, and but at the same time, it's a crazy thing to think like like you said, the game you guys beat. Who'd you
Killer
get?
Ridge.
Was it 21-6
Yeah,
or something?
21-16. They were beating us.
21-16, but it was all your points.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't just like my points. The whole team was getting us there. Like I still had to get close enough to hit a field goal.
But you capitalize on it, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You have to execute, but like if I didn't have a snapper or a holder, I'm not hitting that kick. Like
I guess, yeah, you're just being humble at this point. But no,
it's just it's in reality. Like you have the
it
relationship,
is
the relationship you have to have with these guys. It's crazy. Like thousands and thousands of reps just sitting there and just like, all right, it gets boring, whatever. But we got
especially when they're just holding the ball.
And it seems like, oh, I got this. And then all of a sudden you got 3 people watching you, and it's different. For some reason it feels different for them. And it's like, dude, it's the same thing. So you got to get used to those moments and learn how to deal with people. And like I think that's why sports are important, especially like if you really have to get down in the trenches with people, you really learn how and who they are. And,
yeah.
You know, and I think that's just like a play on being able to like, I wouldn't say extract it, but identifying that and, you know, from each individual that is in your life in general. So I think that's where the benefit comes from doing sports and all that stuff. Like you can kind of apply those things to what you usually do, you know?
Well, yeah, the crazy thing is I'm kind of like you in the sense of football. I didn't play until I got into high school. I played freshman, sophomore, senior year. Junior year, I took a break, but all 4 years I also played soccer as well. Yeah. I grew up playing soccer and baseball. Baseball and soccer were my thing. But soccer was, I would say, my number one thing that when we moved to California, I was on traveling teams. I was at that point where, like, they would have, like, you know, we were little kids, but at the same time, they would have, like, standings, you know, based off goals or whatever, or based off saves and all that stuff. So, like, I was at a point where we were traveling all the time for that. But at the time, I was doing it so much as a kid, like, you don't think about it as, like, it's just taking over my life. Yeah, we should make more. We're going to take a break right now real quick. Yeah. But I didn't see it as like, oh, it's not allowing me to be a kid. Like I saw it, but then again, you know, I was also the oldest, so it's not like I had other brothers where I was like, oh no, this is how they deal with it. I was just like, this is normal life for a kid that wants to play sports. I wasn't like, oh man, that kid's lucky. Like you don't have to wake up early on Saturday. He gets to just go play at the park while I'm at practice or something. Like I never thought about it like that. I just saw it as, this is what I do. Some kids are different, and so that's why when you say like, you know, you were always doing those things, you didn't really get to be a kid. I think you were an athletic. I think you were just an athletic kid.
There's a duality to it, right? Because there's benefits and negatives to it. But like, I think as I grew up, I realized and how lucky I was to be able to be in these sports in these areas and these, like, I don't know, it brought a lot of life to me that I didn't realize and I didn't appreciate till I left it.
See, and me having a son now, I've dealt with that to where, and I know my dad tried doing it to me when I was a kid in high school. Like, hey, like, I know you don't see it right now, but some of these moments are going to be like the best moments of your life. And he tried his best to make me understand that. So now that I have a son, I'm trying to think like, how am I going to approach it? You know, if he decides to get into a sport, how can I be like, look, man, things can happen for you if you take it seriously. So it's like, but it's hard to talk to a kid when on his mind, he's like, I just want to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know, it's like, or we can set you up for the future. You want every day after practice, we'll hit some balls. Every Saturday, we'll be out in the morning doing this. We're going to be working like we have a goal. Because I played sports to be busy and to just stay healthy and athletic. Yeah. I never had the goal of, I'm going to play in college. That was never, I don't even think that was something I even wanted to do because of the stress it brought me in high school. Like, I'm not going to lie. In high school was when...
stressful, man.
High school was when I noticed, this isn't just for fun anymore. You know, it was going to school, you know, during the week, even before everyone else, because you had to go to weight room.
And training and all that.
Yeah, and then, you know, during summer break, you had maybe a week off because then that following week you had two-a-day started, you know, what's it called? Fucking where they start working you out. Yeah. And all, like, everything was just different than other kids. And so, like I said, at the time, I'm just, you know what got me through it, though? I thought I was better than everyone else, or I was cooler than other people that weren't playing sports. Because I'm like, yeah, there are people right now on summer break and they're sleeping in or they're staying up late. And I'm just one of those kids that I'm living like an athlete.
Yeah.
I don't have vacation. I don't have time off. I'm fucking out here grinding. And I just saw it more like I'm doing something. And so I'm not like a loser. I don't know. And that's what got me through. But I didn't see it as like any benefit as like, this is what I'm going to do for my life. It made me feel cooler in high school.
I think I was looking
at confidence.
Complete opposite. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even realize what was going on outside of sports. Like sports, I thought was everyone's mind, and so I was all my mind. always. But I think that's important, like especially with your kids type of thing. Like as he's growing up, actually being able to talk with him, and actually like not just being like treating him like a child, like actually being like, hey, like, what do you like? Like, do you like to do this? Do you not? And I know it's hard for a kid to like manifest or like really communicate that, but I think the more you have an understanding to the connection, you can drive that. And because if someone that as a kid, I was competitive, so I really wanted to win. Whatever it was, I'll do it to get that extra inch. And if a kid is like that, I want to make sure I can give them all the inches that I can like possibly find for them, so they can reach and go towards them, because that's how they become. Like you can't just give someone a fish, because then they're just gonna want more fish. You got to teach them how to fish, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like the same attitude with everything they do in life. So like if it's something they want to go towards, it's almost like and not baiting him, but like showing him things that, oh, hey, look, like, and then seeing his reaction and understanding a little bit about like what he really is into, or like any kind of, when I'm looking at my nephews and everything, I'm like, okay, like, hey, I realize this is what it takes to do this. You down? Just do it. And then like, if he's going through tough moments, like when we ride our ATVs, like with my nephew, like it's hard. Like I'm not gonna lie, it hurts your hands. There's some things like you're running through and you fall or bump, and he's like, you want to get good at this? It's just part of the part of the beast, nature of the beast. Learn how to deal with it. If it's something that's serious, they'll deal with it. But if it's like just bothering you, push a little bit, just a little, and then little by little they get better and better in those moments, and they'll appreciate like you gritting it out with them, being there in the trenches. I feel like, like, and showing them, not just being like, come on, do it like a coach, but actually like by example,
doing it with them or showing them exactly from yourself. No, and I think with my kid, I just have to do pretty much that. Like right now, he's only 2, obviously, but he's just doing the thing where I feel like he's showing interest in the sports that I clearly have interest in, because you know, when baseball season starts, I'm always watching baseball, so he loves to watch baseball with me. When football's on, he loves to watch football, and he'll go and grab his football, and he wants to put his jersey on.
That's sick. Dude,
so,
that's awesome.
And so like I see that, I saw that from from the very beginning when he first started walking and stuff, and all that, to now where when I watch the games, I will off to the side we play catch while the game's on or something. And I've noticed that the more I do that, the more like he likes that stuff. We could be watching.
You're his hero, bro. Like dead ass.
I get. I mean, and like it's crazy to one moment he wants to watch Bluey, and the next he'll just say baseball. He wants to watch baseball highlights, or he wants to watch Sports Center or something. Like sometimes like during baseball season, we'll watch before we go to bed. I'll put Sports Center like top 10. And we just watch that over and over until he falls asleep. Like,
these are things when he's 30 years old, he's gonna remember. He's gonna like, it's one of those.
I hope so, but
core memories.
And I hope this kind of builds towards something like as he grows up that, and not that I'm trying to get him to go play college, but I hope he does. He's the same as me as far as like high school wise, where it's like, bro, try these sports out, because bro, I know it's very common, but it blows my mind when I meet people and they didn't play any sports in high school, like. I mean, my girlfriend, like, she didn't play any sports. But then again, she was that kid that, like, I decided to work instead.
It's and I used to think the same way until, and I think it started, like, when I started looking into, like, chefs and, like, restaurant stuff. and it's funny, but, like, the craft behind what it takes to be a great chef, or, like, a great, like, even, and I say a mixologist, but the people that actually understand the dynamics of your palate and how to mix that stuff in. Like when you take stuff that deep, and with sports, it teaches you just naturally, because routine wise, you fall down, you got to get up and beat somebody next to you. But it's not like that all throughout life. Like a chef isn't always like competing to be like the best chef. Like, like it's one of those things that it shows.
It's trying to maintain their
someone understands the fundamental aspect of what it takes to be a great chef and does it fucking to the dot. There's so much appreciation behind that ties into what I've learned through sports. And I think like tying that circle back together is important, and being able to like, okay, like if my kid doesn't want to do sports, what does he want to do? And how can I help him get to the best level so his life not revolves, but like it gets better because of the hobby or whatever he's putting his time into. It's not just a waste of time, which usually things aren't. In general, because the experience or what you're learning through it is usually more valuable than you realize. But I feel like when it's at that point of you're a kid, like you have to, as a parent, guide them in that direction. And I feel like as I don't have any kids.
No, but
I've
you're
had
a coach.
I
have a dog. Same.
I do coach, and that I have that feeling for every single person I come in contact with. Like I want my impact and my time with them to be valuable, like not just.
Yeah, and I think a good coach is one, obviously a good coach that knows the sport, but two, someone that can communicate to children, because that's always a hard thing to do. And I say children, or even kids in high school, middle school, whatever, it doesn't matter. But they're all just younger minds, and you have to approach them differently than you would adults. And I think even if you don't, and if you're a coach, even if you don't have kids, you know how to be around kids. You know how to talk to a kid. You know what triggers kids. You know what to look for in certain kids. You know what I'm saying? Because you're around them so much. So like, yeah, for you can say like, not that, I don't have any kids, but I feel this way. It's like, but you have some ground to stand on being a coach.
Well, I have a niece and nephew, and
that too.
I've always been around family, and so like that's just a normal thing. But
yeah,
I guess at the end of the day, it's just I see a lot of kids growing up and so delving into their screens, and it's like, dang, kind of sad. Like,
yeah.
No fault on any parent for giving their kid the iPad, but show them a little bit about like going outside and solving a problem.
Yeah, go like a good like 60-40.
Yeah, and then like I said, like sometimes everyone's like doesn't have time, but I think it's one of those things that it should be prioritized at the end of the day.
Oh, for sure. You know what? Real quick before we take a break, one of the things I always thought about with the whole iPad conversation with kids and stuff is like, I think if you're one of those parents where you're like 100%, I don't think they should have screen time. I don't think they should. I think we're going to go full on, 93, 94, only be outside, whatever. I think it's and this may be a hot take, but I think that's kind of crazy to say, because in a way you're kind of, what's it called? Handicapping your kid as far as electronically wise and stuff, because you got to think, even if you don't want your kid to be on these screens, at some point, whether in high school, college, in their job, they're going to have to learn how to use a computer. They're going to have to learn how to use an iPad. They're going to have to learn how to use touchscreen. They're going to have to learn how to do certain things on those things. So if you're just going to tell your kid, like, look, only learn what you do in school. If you need to use them for homework, that's it. But you're not going to be on there searching stuff. Like, it's almost like taking a tool away from them. Like you said, you want to give if you see your kids very interested in this one thing, I want to give them all the tools I possibly can to make them successful or help them get to the goal of whatever he wants to do. So it's like, I think if you're one of those parents who just like take away the iPad altogether or whatever, it's like, okay, I get that, and I don't see an issue with it, but at the same time, in the long run, you're kind of hindering them, because it's like they're gonna need to learn some type of skill. Because it's crazy to think like, bro, think about it, like old people know how to use iPhones because they had to learn.
Barely.
But I'm saying like
that's where like you got to find the balance, right? And the other end of that is then having them consistently stimulated on dopamine, and then being like not being able to sit down and read a book, like not being able to put time into things. It's a trickling effect. Now the studies around it or whatever, like, okay, over time it might change or it might be different, but like it feels like you have to balance it. You can't just rely on one component of it.
Yeah.
But again, it's to each parent their own, because there is productive things you can do with your kid on the iPad. But I think just
for sure,
unsupervised, here's an iPad, like it's like giving them, they're a kid. You gotta have guardrails. You gotta have like rules and stuff. And
and like
willy nilly.
And another thing I'll say too is I think with the iPad thing, it also I think a kid that if there's two different kids in two different households, if you give both an iPad but different types of parents, that also plays a big thing. Because I'm gonna say with our kid, we do just give them the iPad sometimes, and it's mainly like we're trying to get ready. So it's like, bro, you're dressed already. Just sit here. Let us get dressed.
He's ready with his
glasses
on.
Or exactly. He's just like, you guys go do what you gotta do. I'm good with my iPad. But and we limit it in certain times. But it gets to a point where we'll give him an iPad, and because of the type of person where I like to be outside and do things outside, or we like to play outside, sometimes I'll give him the iPad, and a couple minutes he'll be like, outside, like he chooses that's enough for me. This is kind of boring. Yes, and he'll be like, I'm bored with the screen. There's nothing on here tomorrow that's interests me. Everything is outside for me. That's kind of how I was raised in a way. I grew up. I had PlayStation. My parents, I lived a good life. I had, as long as I was doing good in school and playing sports, they would give me everything I wanted. So I always had like the new PlayStation, the new video games, everything. But I noticed something. I knew something about me compared to my brother was that he would cry if they told him, "All right, go outside and play." Like you
Is
need
he
to
younger
stop.
or older than you?
Younger.
Younger.
He was the middle. I was the oldest. But even growing up playing video games, I would get to a point, no matter what game I played, I'd be like, I'm kind of bored with this. Like, I want to go outside and ride my bike. I chose, up, and then I'd see my brother. He could be playing all day. Stay up all night playing video games. I'd get to a point where I'd get bored. That's like, I want to do something else. That's how it is with my kid. But I think it's because he sees us.
Yeah.
He sees us inside on our phones or watching TV and stuff or editing on my laptop. But every now and then I'm like, I'm bored with that or I'm done with that. I'm going to go outside and do stuff, clean the car, do stuff. And so then he's kind of like that. So I'm saying if your kid's also an iPad kid, but also that he's just stuck on that, maybe it's because you sit him next to you while you're also on your phone or you're also watching TV and you're just doing it all the time. And like, you're not taking him anywhere. You're not going outside with him. You're not playing with him. You're not interacting with him at all. You're just doing that. Then yes, that's going to happen. But without, and I'm not saying I'm a good parent. I'm not saying I'm the best parent, but without even practicing, that was the goal. I just was like, I think I'm doing this right. I know he's not on it all the time, but I started noticing like he would choose like, I don't want that. Like, I want to go play. I want to be on something. I don't want to see a screen. So I'm like, all right, cool. We'll just keep it like that. We don't push it on him, So like I said, I'm not a perfect parent, but I think without even trying, maybe we got blessed with a good kid and he's just like perfect, or, it worked out. Whatever we're doing is working and I'm just going to keep going. But let's take a quick break. Let's get a drink. I need to take a piss. Great conversation. There's so much we got to get into and we're only getting started, but we'll be right back, guys.
Like there was a player that played with me at Western when I got All-American, and his coach was also the special teams coordinator for UGA. He went to UGA. He ended up going to UGA after Western. So then from that point, he connected the dots. But it also happened at ASU. Like someone from Western, like I sent the coach the clip and he saw it and he asks one of the recruits that is going to ASU from Western. He's like, "Yo, what do you think about this kid?" And he's like, all of them love me. All my players. So like talk good about me, and then I ended up at ASU, and then I ended up at getting recruited by UGA. But that was, like I said, the interesting scenario. But it all kind of left me the whole process.
Oh, we're back, by the way. You can bring the mic closer.
Oh, yeah. A weird taste in my mouth in terms of like,
I'll pour a shot.
How these coaches pour me one too. How these coaches benefit, like they're getting paid millions of dollars, and I was getting rung around from school to school, and low key, like I fulfilled everything that they asked me to do, and like, okay, so here's what happened. At Arizona Western, after my freshman year, I got All-American. Damn, that's more than a shot.
Is it?
I think so.
It's always hard in these things. Here, let me see. Hold on. Oh.
That's what she said.
I'll try to measure it. That way we take the most amount.
So, just doubled. So, Western goes by freshman year. I didn't expect it, but I ended up getting All-American. Though I didn't realize, because I was just having a good time that season. It was like not like.
Yeah, I'll take the big one just to be safe.
That's probably smart. Yeah, I was having a good time playing that season. Like we had a great team. Everyone was cool as hell. The coaches, like, I was having a great season. Like,
how many seasons did you play
at Western? 2 ultimately, but I went 1 and then I left because that's when after my All-American season, one of the players or 2 of the players actually were getting recruited to ASU. So, and again, the connections that I've made throughout my life, like that's low key what's always helped me, because I sent the video, like a recruiting video, to ASU coach, and low key he didn't hit me back. The player that played with me at Western that went to ASU, he's like, "Yo, Coach Long asked about you." Like I was like, "Coach Long?" He's like, "Yeah, he's my tight ends coach, but he's also a special teams coordinator." And I was like, "Oh, what?" And then he's like, "Yeah, he actually wants to come see you." I was like, "He hasn't hit me up." Like, but the recruitment was
you
so
had already
weird.
sent a video.
It's because there's all these rules before NIL. Like they couldn't do certain things. But like, yeah, I had already sent the video. He never hit me back. Mm-hmm. Then he hit me back, but in person. Like he literally showed up to the school, and they called me to the office, and like we were talking, and like, he's like, "Yeah, like this is what I'm thinking for you." And then he's like, "Prefer to walk on. Come to ASU, earn your spot." Have you done your shot yet?
No. It's
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thanks for coming on again.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not a double. That's probably like a shot-ish.
Yeah.
It's good. Hey,
Dude, as a shot?
shout out Matthew McConaughey.
Shout out Matthew McConaughey, dude. You know what I do wonder, though, if there's any additives. Just because...
That's why I got it, because he literally spoke about this tequila that his sourced there or whatever. Now, if he goes into a lawsuit, just like the companies I shan't name, but they're the most popular brands because they say 100% agave.
Agave,
It's like
yeah.
freaking 10%. But I mean, to the benefit, they're not extorting and or underappreciating the people that actually created
The
that.
Mexican
yeah,
culture.
because it's hard to do it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but when you do it right, it's good.
Oh, dude, yeah. No.
So ASU, he goes back and he tells me, he's like, yeah, like, love what you're doing or whatever. I will say I don't have a scholarship to offer you right now. If I did, I would. I can give you a preferred walk-on. Come to the school. If you're in your starting position, you will get a scholarship. And I'm like, okay, I could run with that. Like, it's in state. Fuck it, let's do it. And so within like a month, I decided to go to ASU. I literally apply, send everything in. School pushes everything. The football team pushes everything through because like you don't have to wait for anything. And it's ASU. I'm pretty sure like pretty quick.
You know what's crazy though? People say that, and maybe because you're from Arizona and ASU
maybe
for
in state, yeah.
ASU for you guys is like when I was in California, SDSU. SDSU was like
The party school?
anyone can get in, but it was like, but as someone that wanted to get into that school because I
Yeah.
love San Diego, I was like, I would love to go to San Diego State. I've been to the campus, whatever. At the time, my girlfriend, she was going to go there and stuff, but that's where I wanted to go. But it was like, and even here in Arizona, I'm like, dude, I think ASU is badass, or U of A. And the fact that people from here are just like, oh, dude, anyone can go there. It's like, well, then, fuck, I wish I would have known that. I would have applied.
You would have got it.
I would have
You
loved
ever
to have
seen
gone to
the
ASU.
sequel to Dumb and Dumber? And
I have it. I didn't watch
he
it.
literally is going through his mail. He's like, oh, I got accepted to ASU.
No, that's
So, like, it's just this universe. But like at the end of the day, they have really good programs. Like
they seem like a dope school as
it's
far
a
as like.
state university. It's a good school. It's
Exactly.
just, people give this stigma to it because it used to be a crazy party school, and they actually shut all that stuff down, like completely.
There's like-
someone fell off a balcony and died.
There's like no fraternities anymore, right?
There's again.
Oh,
there
is?
used to not be for a while.
Okay, yeah.
And then it brought back. Like, when I was there, no, there was no frats. There was frats that were like low key. So, but they had like they could rush and do everything. They just couldn't have a house, which was weird. But
They couldn't gather.
yeah, they couldn't congregate.
They couldn't give them a place to. Yeah,
the boys
just do
couldn't-
things with behind closed doors.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they gotta do it all
that
public.
was
That's
the problem. Actually, never mind. That's ASU is a great place to go to have a good time. Now, when like, don't be a grown ass man going there though.
Okay. All right, cancel
not
those
the
plans.
campus. Go to Mill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like don't be on fucking at school. Like, what's up, guys? Like, that's weird, you know.
I
Like,
guess I thought it was cool.
back to yeah. So I guess I ended up going to ASU, and this is actually the two kickers, which is the kicker and the punter that were there. Dude, at the time, like I've known them because they were in the higher rankings with the college stuff that I would go kick in Wisconsin, and like, but they were already playing. Like he'd already gone through the freshman year. Both of them, they were both freshmen when I'd gone in. So my freshman year was their sophomore year. Bro, both these guys are still playing NFL to this day. So like these guys were monsters, and one of them got the Lou Groza Award, which is the best kicker in college for the year. Like he broke the most points in record for ASU history.
Damn.
So that's who I was competing against. At the time, I was starting in my position. Like I was, but okay. So something during when we were doing like the reason they recruited me, the kickoffs the team was not doing good on kickoffs. So that's my specialty. Like and I was booting the ball into the stands. Like I was getting it. So I was like, no chance they're not going to give me a scholarship. I'm starting for what they brought me here to do.
I'm kicking out of the field.
Like I was just a kickoff spot at the time, and then I was on the homeboys' heels for field goal. We were like kicking at the same percentage, like dead ass, like 96, 97%. Like we weren't missing almost anything all throughout camp. Camp ends, coach, and he knows I was waiting for this conversation, calls me to the office. He's like, oh, we don't have a scholarship. I was like, I mean, I came here, did all this. Dude, I'm like 10K in the hole. I mean, it's college, but like I get at the end of the day, paid 10K. Like, and I told him, and Todd, it was Todd Graham at the time, head coach. I was like, yo, like I could honestly be playing at any school in the country right now, and they would give me a scholarship, but you guys don't have one. It's okay. I have to leave, and I left. And so literally walking down the stairs from the coaching building at ASU, and I call the head coach for Arizona Western, and then he's like, it's ringing. I don't even say hello yet, and he's like, you can come back. And I was like,
damn.
He's like, yeah, like this happens every year to a number of kids, and I had a feeling like they're just not put up their end of the bargain.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, well, okay. He was like, I'll send you the paperwork right now, full ride, same deal as last year. You're good. I was like, cool. So, because at the time you have to do that to even transfer out, and the coaching organization I work for, I called them because they were my mentors at the time too, and I was like, man, like, what should I do? Like, I'm not this is long-winded. Like at ASU, I'm not gonna pay another 10, 15 grand just to come here another semester and then maybe get a scholarship. Like, bro, I'm wasting the best years of what I'm doing. And then they're like, you have a great school right now. Like, not many people in general get a D1 school. If you leave, like, it's gonna be hard to get another D1. Like, just letting you know. I was like, I think I can do it. And so I ended up leaving. I had to I had that conversation before I talked to the head coach. But like, working my 4 years up to that point, almost every day into trying to get to that position, and then like I'm here, I'm like, I have to leave. It's not for me. Like, I'm gonna do everything I can, put all my effort, and it's not. I need to go somewhere else, and that's what I felt. And as a kid, like, it was a big decision, but I needed to do it, and I trusted my gut, and it worked in my favor in terms of like what it's taught me and where I ended up through it. But like at the end of the day, that experience at ASU, I was like, man, like this guy knew that the whole time.
So what's the goal though? Like, what is it? Just to use you for what?
Their job is to make the team perform, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get paid millions of dollars to go recruit, get kids in, kids out. They build this dream up to all these. Now it's more balanced because of the NIL. So like you have NIL deals, they're working for you. They're not just getting breadcrumbs. Like even if you play for them, these football players are putting their body on the line. And back in the day, all they would get is their room and board paid for, and that's it. Nothing. Like they're getting literally like their bodies flung around, broken, and you get that. The coaches are getting millions, dead ass. And so like, not that they're using them, but it creates this system that's pretty money driven. So they don't care about the kids, like they're recruiting. They wanted them to perform. Ultimately, they want the numbers, not the kid. Mm-hmm. And so they build up this story and all this lucrative, and they bring them on campus and show us all this amazing stuff. And it is amazing. And there's a lot of benefit to it. But I feel like that instance, he could have been more upfront into what was actually like, what the deal actually was, rather than be like, you're going to get a scholarship if you do this. So I worked my ass off to do that, and I did it, and I didn't get it, and that just made me feel like shit. And so I think there's no accountability for the coaches, and they just do that consistently over and over. Me, I could pay my parents, everything. I could do that, 10 grand.
Yeah.
But dude, they're doing this across the board to how many kids, to how many people, families, and it just, I was like, dang, it seemed grimy in my mind that this is what they have to continuously do. And there's success stories here and there of like the all-star recruit, and that one coach that brought that all-star recruit. That's why they're in that position, because they brought someone that's like, so it's really the kids and the people doing the execution.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad now they do have the NIL, because they actually get paid for it. You know, and people could argue it spoils them. Well, if they're worth that, let them get paid that, you know?
So for the people that don't know, what's the NIL?
It's name and likeness. So before, I think it was like 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, it was just recently.
That the players couldn't sell, they couldn't like market their school. Like them being an athlete, like, you know how if you do YouTube and you get paid for it, they couldn't be like, oh, I'm a football player at U of A and I'm a YouTuber.
Make vlogs off of it and stuff. Yeah.
Anything with your name and the school tied to it.
Anything to benefit using the school name.
Even like down to like when Reggie Bush sold his jersey when he signed it.
Yeah.
They took his Heisman Award.
Yeah.
It was like, what the heck? Like, he earned this. What is these weird rules and why?
in that sense, that was more one of the things. It's like I totally understand. Like I feel like people, like the people that were just like, I totally understand. Yes, it's not that big of a deal, but rules are rules type thing.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they were like, because at first I was like, same thing. I was like, what's the big fucking deal? Sheesh. But I'm like, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, but that is a rule, and he knew that, and just going against it just kind of shows a sense of like, oh, so like knowing this rule, you're still like, yeah, but I'm gonna do my own thing, and it's like it just goes to one of those things.
Yes, to an extent.
Yeah.
Like in my head, like, and this might be a bit extreme, but like you win the war, you write the history books, right? So like, when it comes to like laws and like when you're on the right side of it at a certain time before, like shit was crazy illegal that's legal now, and shit was legal that is illegal as hell now.
Yeah.
So I think the rules is systemic. It's like what's right and wrong between like this guy is actually doing the work. He's not like fraud, like doing some weird like incriminating stuff. He's literally just grinding, and someone wants to pay like for something that it's his, like he's built up. That's where I do think it balances out. But then in cases where like the argument is just like even when they go to NFL, it's a rookie contract, they get some money and then like I made it, and it become this different person, and I think that is a risk across the board. I don't think that should be
introduce it early in college.
Yeah, like if it's too early, and then like, oh, you can't tell these kids what to do. The coach can't tell them like because they're making all this money, and they like that's the value of that person.
So with the NIL and stuff now, what are the rules as far as like making money off in college? Like for instance, like if someone does want to charge for a jersey sign, is there like a thing they have to go through to do that, or so now it's just like you can make money. You can
contract out and do a KFC commercial just like Shedeur Sanders. That's why he was in college doing commercials before you would never see that because they couldn't, but now you can. Like it's just part of it. Now you have to make sure like I don't think you can use facilities and like stuff like that, like that's supplied by the school and like all, like that kind of stuff. Like there's fine,
but off your name and
but they're not gonna sit here and like sign a contract every time you sell a jersey. Like it's just part of what the players can do now, being part of that like organization.
And so would like whenever back in the day, whenever like you said, there was these college players that were putting their bodies on the line, and all they were getting was free room and board, and full ride scholarship, whatever.
Which is a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's still like 50, 60 grand for 4 years.
For what? Yes.
Think about, okay, and what really pissed me off the most was that, and I'm not going to say names, but like my coach at U of A, love him to death, great dude. He didn't knew shit about kicking. And so like we go in here, he's the main coach for special teams, and we're supposed to be running down tape and like breaking down what's right, what's wrong. And him as a coach should be like, you see this, you see that, like silence. Me and the other dude,
and he's getting paid for this.
That's what I'm saying. Like million, like that's like 1.3 mil or some shit like that for his position. And he can't tell the main dudes in that unit to do like how to hone down their craft. And I had a coach at ASU that came from the Green Bay Packers 10 years. I respect the shit out of him. He was the reason, like, he got my things lined up. Like, when you get to college, you slowly get better. Every cylinder was firing perfect because he, like, just tweaked little tiny things off of tape. That was and I could say, like, the one coach, I was like, dang, like, he knows his shit. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, besides the organization I worked for, it was super hard to find a really good kicking coach. And so when I saw that at U of A, and me and the other guy were the ones coaching and breaking down the film for the rest of the team, like not the team, but like the people in that unit, I was like, man, how much do you know? like for real.
Yeah.
Like, why are you in this position? The other stuff he was really good at, don't get me wrong. But that position, I was like, like, I could do this job. But now, like, that's my goal over life. Like, eventually, hopefully, being in a position that I could make a real impact on a team that changes people's lives, type of thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what these teams are. Like, they're bringing in millions of dollars for the schools, so many jobs, so many different things. And I think that's the beauty behind the sport and the congregation of it, as much as like the craft of it. But there's a lot of things that go on with it that when I was in that position, like I said, I just left left a weird feeling. I'm like, man, like I just wish it was more down to earth than based off money, basically.
Yeah. And that's what I was getting at though, like with the like before, like with the NIL thing, like so was one of, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't like one, because it's crazy to think, yes, like you said, when you break it down like that, like everything, all the hard work you guys are doing, you guys are the reason these points are up. Yes, there's coaches, but like you said, clearly there's coaches that don't know what they're doing and somehow they're getting by because the team is so good, it makes them look good.
Why do you
type
think
thing.
Chip Kelly got fired from the Raiders? Not that he doesn't know what he's doing, but like he was a gimmicky coach for what. Like, this might be controversial, but like he got fired because he was throwing in random shit to Geno Smith, and look at Geno Smith trying to figure out the plays. Like he didn't actually perform and put up his part of the job. So look how many people are affected down the line.
Yeah.
That's why he's not there anymore. But like little stuff like that.
Yeah, but like, so like, yes, that does sound crazy that the coaches at one point were making millions of dollars or a lot of money as a college football coach, and these players were getting almost nothing. And so my thing though is like, am I tripping, or wasn't there like one of their arguments was that for everything that college provides for them, that in the end, if we we give them all the right tools, that they make it to the NFL and that's where they'll make their money. So that's why we don't pay them in college, because if they really do work hard at what they love and we're such a good school, we're going to provide all those tools to give them that. Eventually they'll get their money from what we did for them. We got paid to get them to that next level, and now they're getting paid. But they're not going to get paid now because we're the ones doing all that.
That's a great business perspective, because you got sure money right now, but maybe one day you get there. That's the issue.
And that's
you
what I'm
don't
saying.
know if they're gonna get there. You don't know if they're gonna not get hurt and break their leg this next play. Like, how can you be so sure in 4 years? All of a sudden, everything is just. If this is what they're doing now, and this is the benefits of now, why wait? You're reaping the benefits of it. You just don't want to share it, and that's where it came into effect. It was like NCAA. They make the rules and everything, and like all this stuff. Who are they? Like, we have all these schools and all this stuff. Like, why are? I get there has to be rules, and just like FIFA, like you just see the like supposedly the corruption behind like how they picked all the teams and everything.
No,
it's if you like that's where like I think U.S. and Mexico and all these teams ended up in the same groups and like all these different stuff. But when these organizations that run sports, the NFL is a bit better at it because they're so regulated and they find players and they're more involved. But FIFA and all these other like NCAA and like organizations controlling when they have big money flow, I feel like it gets a little murky.
Yeah,
because the benefit for doing something so small, because a World Cup, how much you think like one game makes in revenue?
Oh, a one game? Millions?
Fucking millions, right?
Yeah.
Like, and this is happening, and they build up this $1 billion portfolio for these games, and it's driven in a way that's like I wouldn't want to say it's on purpose, but it definitely seems as if they want certain teams to win,
Yeah.
and they position it that way.
For someone that played college ball at a high level, do you believe in such thing as the script in NFL? I
always think about that too, because
and could it be possible?
The only reason I say it's not possible is because now you're getting these athletes that make impossible plays or catches, and those are the moments at times, especially in the NFL, that make or break the game. Like, imagine the odds of that motherfucker catching, like when Caleb Williams with his Bears threw that, he literally ran backwards 15 yards and threw it off his back leg. That would have ended the game, and I'm so mad about that one because I lost a parlay on it. But
was that like the 10 parlay and you lost? That was
yes,
the one?
it wasn't that play, but because of that catch,
yeah,
it extended the game. That would have ended the game, and like the Bears ended up winning. Like, who predicts that? Like, that's where, like, I feel like yes, there is some level of, I want to say coercion, but like
controlling.
Yeah, because even like with the announcers, they're like, they forgot they had a hot mic and they said some crazy shit about the script, like stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
That you'll see on like Instagram reels.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
and so it's like you never really, really know. But that's why I respect the shit out of the athlete that gets a crazy catch, like a like super unique like play, like when Barkley hurdled over the guy backwards, like all that kind of stuff. You can't write that.
Well, but see, and I get what you're saying. Like, it's one of those, like, okay, the only way that could be possible is if they plan for that, they practice for it, whatever. But this is my thing. That's what separates the NFL from college, from high school, from everything else. The NFL is the elite of the elite. It is you're the best person in that position on that team. There's no one else above you. You're that person. So it only makes sense that you see these high-level athletes make these insane catches, because it's like, of course they're going to do a backflip and catch it in the end zone because they're an NFL professional athlete. The 1% that a lot of people do not get to do, no matter how hard they try. There is very little. It's all about talent and being at the right place, right time. Luck, all that has to go into one.
You said 3 things I disagree with.
You don't think so? You don't think
And
top of you can't just be a great athlete. You have to have some luck.
I don't think it's about being a great athlete or having some luck, and to some extent when you first start, yes, because you drive your mind to that. But when it comes to a craft, bro, I think it's really about that's why it's important to understand what you really like, because your dedication comes from that.
Yeah.
So you really you'll figure the stuff. Someone that's talented, faster, bigger, stronger, great. You're lucky. I wish I had that, but if the ones that's dedicated, those are the ones that freaking make it. As much across the board, and it rings the most true in like MMA, because it just stands out right away. But like through sports, the more grit and tough and just you accept the nature of the beast, those are the guys that are successful. Not the ones that are like, I want to do this. The ones that are disciplined enough, like that know they're just like, this is what I need. Like it's just this element that I've seen in people, and that's one of the things I chase. That feeling of like I need to do this. Like, this is like, there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing this. And I felt that with football. I felt that through soccer, and and in sales, it has applied in some jobs I've done.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And so like, that's where I'm like, that's what I chase, because that's what's driving, I think, the most, I don't even say production, but like I've been part of some cutting edge things, and that's why I like it, because it's like I'm really making an impact. I'm not trying to learn off of, and people can create as many wheels as they need. I'll use them if it's a good wheel, like as an analogy, but like I'm not gonna sit here and recreate something that's already good. I'm gonna try and make something better that sucks, or something that like people are having a problem with, and I'm gonna make it better, and like that's
provide a solution.
Yes, and my mind goes that way, but I know my impact comes through sales and communication. Like I know you might be struggling with something. What can I help in that? How can what I do like make your life easier? Boom.
Yeah.
But like it's all these experiences that I think allow me to get to that point, to a foundational level with people. Like, what do you care about? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, but I'm gonna stop rambling for a sec. I want to keep going a little bit.
No.
Hey, good pantalones, by the way.
What do you mean?
Tequila.
What'd you say?
Good pantalones.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I did not notice. I thought that was like pantalones. Like,
and I'm not a pantalones rep or anything either. Like, hey, Jorge Vasquez, the rep for Bacardi, you need to get this on the.
You know that guy or what?
And
you say it like you know this guy.
Hey, in Tempe, I won a Bacardi. No, it wasn't Bacardi. What was it? Gastelum. They're part of Bacardi, but they had a whole hosting event for like the executives, and they had a paloma making contest. This guy was cool as hell, but hundreds of people, for some reason, he fucked with me heavy. I'm from Sonora, Sinaloa, my family and shit, so they like to like drink ceviche and like all this different like seafood and mix, like, having a good time. So palomas was like a foundational aspect of my childhood.
Yeah.
And like, to say, no offense, but a lot of these people at this event were white. I'm like, I'm about to win this paloma challenge, bro. They gave me a 100-ounce cantarito, a trophy. He gave me a medal. Dude, it was. I was like, I wasn't even supposed to be at this event.
How'd you get? Well, how
it's because I do all the real estate stuff and like all the networking software stuff I do. I just meet the most, dude. craziest, interesting people sometimes. And I get invited to stuff like this, and I just go, and it's a good time, and I meet people. And
See, something like that with your job is something that it's one of those things where it's like, oh shit, my bad. I had my ringer on because I never have it on, but I had it on because I was waiting for you to message me. But what you want to call it? What was I gonna
that's
say?
the first message. Damn, it's been that dry.
It is. Yeah, that's my fucking phone, and it's my girl calling. So yeah, what do you say?
What are you doing?
Oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, so like that, like what you're explaining with your job sounds like for me, it's like the job itself doesn't seem interesting, but the connections you make, the opportunities that you get to do, is what is one of those things where it's like, because what I'm thinking, what I'm getting at is like, you went from playing a sport in college, right, to that was your in the time your career, right?
Yeah.
And so then
Wake
you
up
went
every day doing that. You know?
Yeah, and then you just didn't get to a level of NFL. So then you were like, okay, well, how can I turn what I learned in sports, in football, this grittiness into the business side, a suit and tie type shit. But you're like, well, you have the the mindset of being competitive, wanting to be on top, wanting to be a winner. So you throw that in there, but then you're like, yeah, but the job itself is kind of lame. But the one thing that I would chase in your job is those things where it's like, dude, like, yeah, the job is like this, whatever. But yo, I've met this millionaire. I've been to this house. This guy just, I'm just a normal guy working in this business. This guy's successful in this business. And he just happens to like me because, we both played college football or we both played college sports.
Yeah.
And so now I have this crazy connection with this guy. That's what interests me in your job.
That happens so much because, like, high level people just happen to congregate. And not just like people that compete and love to do, like, just be the best. They just happen to be around the same places all the time. And and it happens a lot, and especially in Phoenix and Yuma. I struggle because I don't have like a social, like, I can't go somewhere and be like, oh, I know all these realtors are going to be here. I know all this, like, attorneys or like whatever, like, and I just like go being part of an event. But you spoke about that front aspect of like going from the college to the work. The first thing to get used to is the life. Like, you going from this rowdiness to thousands of people to a whole team tendering to you to all of a sudden you're just at home and going to work, right? And it's like the first is the transition of that.
Yeah,
because like you don't have a doctor or like a trainer or like someone that's like checking up on you and like consistently. So like first is that, and then I guess there's this like I'm an athlete now. I'm in sales, and it takes a little time mentally to get through that. It happened pretty naturally for me because sales, like, it just kind of clicks into with athletes in general.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of like, it sucks at first. You got to fall and say some stupid shit. And then like, all right, like they're human. They get it. And they just slowly ramp up to a point where you're comfortable being who you are as a salesperson. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to like the jobs themselves, like, yeah, a lot of them, surface level, super boring. It's like, oh my God, this guy's talking about software or numbers or like quarterly finances and all that. Fuck that. It really isn't about that. As much as like all these systems are created by humans, I really do think it's a connection, as I mentioned, that I've gone and done a certain thing, a certain aspect of things in my life that I thought I really wanted, and it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
So like I've experienced through that has made me connect through people that really grind and like work their whole life for something that doesn't turn out the way they think it does, and they have to shift and become something different and new, and that's the level of where my mindset comes from when it comes to like the job. And so like even before I also worked for a tax firm one time. Fucking exciting, huh? But the tax firm itself was very niche into really cool stuff, actually, like scientific stuff, like research and development, tax returns. Like I would work with breweries that would work on like chemical stuff and engineering stuff, and like those are the people that I needed to do their tax returns with me. But they're like a business. So instead of me talking about like, hey, I can get you this much on your taxes, I was actually like, dude, what city are you in? You like this restaurant? Let me take you out to dinner. I'll tell you what we do. Like, we work with this guy. Like, we usually have somebody in the town, like they usually know or whatever. Let me take you out, explain what we do. If anything, you get a free meal. Boom, take them out. And then that's what slowly the connection starts the relationship. And then I tell them, oh yeah, and we do taxes. Well, once I tell them about like who I am and why we're here, that's all bullshit. It's more like, what value am I gonna get from this guy? Like, why am I sitting across the table from him? And how can I portray that in a way that he's going to actually listen and believe me? And so I really hone in and understand my target audience, I guess, right?
Would you say, like, at that time, I guess even now, the tactics you're explaining is something that what's up?
Oh, no.
I thought you were going to point. I thought you were pointing at something. The tactics you're explaining with, like, meeting clients, taking them out to dinner, whining and dining them, all this stuff. Would you consider yourself like a salesman? I would say you're not like a salesman fluffing and tight and saying bullshit.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'm getting at is, like, you have this thing that as you're talking, I'm noticing is, like, you have this. You can correct me later, but so I don't lose my train of thought.
Correct.
But
Now.
but like, you have this, like, I'm not gonna take no for an answer type mindset. And let me explain what what I can do for you. The moment I catch a sense of, like, well, I appreciate your offer, you have the comeback of, like, yeah, but this, you're very persistent in your approach. Because when I got out the military, one of my first jobs I did was a car salesman for what's it called, a consignment lot.
Okay. Oh,
right?
Shit. Yeah, that's a tough sale, bro.
Yes, bro. And it was just a family member that owned a lot. They were like, "You're looking for a job? I'm looking for someone. I'll train you and everything." And I was like, "Fuck it. I'm fresh out the military. All I know is military. I didn't have a plan when I got out. I just wanted to get out and do what I could, because at that time I was like, I have this mindset of, like, I'm gonna get stuff done. I'll do whatever I need to. So I was like, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. I get out and I get introduced to selling cars and stuff, or RVs and all that stuff. So, but the one thing I learned about myself from that is I'm one of those people where someone would drive on the lot and I'd see them looking around. And I'd be like, "You looking to buy a car?" And they'd be like, "No, I'm just looking." I'd be like, "Okay, cool.
Peace.
Have a good time." Because not because I'm a piece of shit, not because I don't want to give you my time of day. I'm just one of those people where, like, if you tell me I'm just here to look, I don't want to be on you like, "Oh, really? Well, what are you looking for? Who's it for? Oh, yeah? I know you're looking for this car, but we do have this cool truck." It's like, you're already telling them all these things. They're like, what I'm saying? But I couldn't do that. You're giving this thing where you're like, you're very persistent, and I'm almost jealous of that.
I wouldn't say I'm a salesperson. I'm a businessman. And I look at it two different.
You're not a businessman. You're a business.
I'm a business
man. You never heard that? You never heard that?
But that's true, though.
Yeah.
Because you're selling yourself
across
everything you do, right? But, like, and you bring across a good point in terms of, like, the salesman persistence, and it's a big aspect. But when it's the right fit, and when it comes to business to consumer, completely different to business to business. Business to consumer, it definitely is emotional. You really kind of, like, you're a car salesman. You got to really be there. And I've done everything from car sales. I've sold coupons, bro. Like, sold water to fish.
You sold, like, percentages off?
No,
not even the full amount.
Like, here's a coupon book, $20. I'd make $8 a book, but I'd sell fucking 50 a day. Like, I was going, but the sales came through on, like, all right, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'll be like, "You like pizza? Yeah. Hey, a pizza's $16. You get a free pizza with the buck, pays for itself. You want it?"
Oh.
And it's like, yeah. Wait, what else has got? You see even one thing. It's like, I'm here. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and sell something that you're not gonna need. Like, that's I get to the gist of it.
But you do seem like someone that could sell me on something that in the end I'm
well,
like,
if you're not sure about what you want, then yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
But
you're
like,
so good.
But if I don't want to do that. I can, and that's another.
That's
point
why I didn't want to give you the bad thing when I said
because,
businessman.
like,
I know people see him as crooks and stuff. I don't want to put that on you.
And trust me, because, like, I've done this for a long time. It's a lot of psychological portraying and understanding how to communicate. Like, even the pausing and, like, talking and, like, bringing people in.
It all means something.
It's all part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's why I'm comfortable doing this, because, like, I'm on camera all the time. Like, talking to clients, like business guys that make a bunch, and, like, they're judging every little thing that you got my tattoos, and it's like, at first. Mm-hmm. And then they see me talk, and they're like, okay, like, at least he knows what he's talking about. But that's why I get so ingrained in my products and what I do. Because when someone came up to me and talked to me about kicking, I knew what the fuck I was talking about.
Yeah.
To be the same thing, everything I do. And that's business. Yeah. And so I carry my confidence with that because of that. And so when you're talking about the car sales, right? And you're like, oh, if someone's like, I'm just looking. But you got to realize what it took to get that person in there. How much is that rent for that building that they saw? How much is the advertising that a boss is paying a commercial for? So maybe they're just looking. But if you're looking, what are you looking at? Like, drive that effort a bit more when someone's putting, like, dude, they took us, that other car didn't stop by, but these guys did, and we've been paying money to get them in here. Like, give some effort. Yeah. That's the way I see it, because I'm a businessman. I see the dollars it took to get that person in here. It's not just a free person that's just walking in and out.
Yeah,
I see, like, oh, that was money walking out the door. And not like, I'm like, oh, fuck, like, I'm fucking up. But just realizing, like, as a business person, everything you do is a positive or a negative for your business. So you have to learn how to find your, like your radar for it, right? And kind of like beep, beep. Oh, I really need to put it, like, understanding those components of it. And, but that's where it's like, yes, I am a salesperson. If I feel like this really is going to help you, it's as locked in your ways as you might be, I'm always going to live by that. I'm going to be able to help you with this. If you don't believe it, have a little leap of faith for me. And I promise you it's going to be worth your time.
No, and the reason I bring this up is because what the way you are, what you do for your business, the salesman type mindset and stuff, it's one of those things that it's like, I don't want to do it. It's not something, if I found out in high school was cool, I would want to learn about. But the people that do it interest me. Like, whenever I watch, like, that's why I
do it every day.
But yeah. Oh, for the podcast?
No, or in general, for yourself. Like,
you don't even realize.
What do you mean? I mean, if that's what you're selling.
What do you mean?
Whatever you own is what you're showing people, whether you know it or not. Whatever you're sporting, who you are. Like, when you ask something of somebody else, eventually, that's all part of it. Right? Everything that you've projected onto life and they have a perspective on, they're going to make a decision off that. Because, like, if I'm sitting here and I do finance and, like, they're like, man, like, there's no idea what he's talking about, but he's a cool dude and I like him. They might do it, but you really want to make sure you're hitting all the marks for every person to maximize your opportunities. Because you're not going to be right for everybody, ever. But the more people you're right for, it's like, and so, like, you're slowly kind of building up who you are, what you are, and your branding, your, like, who you carry yourself as even. Yeah. It's all part of that, even if you don't realize it, you know? So you're not selling a product, but when you're selling yourself, anytime you ask for something from anybody, I think that's something to keep in mind, that they're not just going to, like, nothing's, like, you know, I don't know. But, like, what I'm saying is all the perspective that you've driven to their eyes is going to come to play when you ask them, anybody, of anything. Unless they're family or, like, they really care. Yeah. When it comes to, like, business or someone supporting something you're doing, you know, like, even, like, reposting like a podcast. Yeah. It's all part of it. Yeah. You know,
we're going to take a quick break real quick, but before we take a quick break, one thing, do you think from what you do, obviously, like, you know, you have your business and stuff and you do your job and your work, but, like, do you think with what your knowledge and what you know as far as marketing, sales, all that stuff, do you think there's something you could help me with as far as, like, the podcast? Like, as the podcast
software stuff, I can point you into AI stuff that you probably never even heard about.
See, so okay, that as well as is like, real quick, is there anything you could be like, look, I think you should be doing this to promote or market your podcast more, to get more people, more eyes, more ears on it?
Before I can even go into that, I would want to learn a little bit more about what your goal is in general with everything you're doing, you know, like, but, like, it's
this would be where you'd be like, let's go to dinner. Let me tell you what I can offer.
No, let us talk. If it's unrealistic, I'm gonna say, hey, this is a great dinner. This is all we're doing.
So you're not over here trying to sell them on anything to make money. You'll be like, look, I can't do nothing for you. I'm sorry. Someone else is better than me, or I can't help you.
If I'm not, that's good. I don't feel that, and I'm like, dude, yeah, sorry, this ain't for you. And I say that so many times throughout the day to the people that, and I have, dude, if I show you my calendar, stacked all day. Yeah. So I'm talking to brokers and lenders in the finance world and whatever, they're people, right? But it's the component of, listen, like, no bullshit, no nothing. This is what we do. This is what I can help you with. Is this what you're looking for? And if it's not, great. If it is, let's talk a little bit more about what you do with it, and then we'll dive into, like, the details of it. But foundationally, where are you coming from? And if it's not in the same direction, I'm going to leave it, because what happens? I sell it. I might like be able to skew it and be like, yeah, look, we can do all this. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, they're unhappy with me because it didn't do exactly.
You gave them a false dream.
Basically, right? Yeah. And from there, it trickles back. Like everything is almost like karma, like sales, like not even playing. Like you do something bad of value, whether it's a clawback or something comes back and it's like, yo, like this isn't what you said it was, or I didn't make any money from this marketing shit I bought from you. And it's like all this, it stacks. And I would hate to wake up every morning having more and more and more people feeling like that about me. And that's how it felt like when I was at Rocket Mortgage. Damn, that's a big name.
I'll bleep it out if you want me to.
Yeah, but I was like, oh shit. When I was at that company, dude, I felt like I was rocking people out 10, 15K more than they should have been paying. Yeah. And they were paying it and we were good at it. But the more I did it, the shittier I felt because more people kept calling me after months, like a month or two in process. Because loans take about 30 to 60 days or so to close. Like, I found a better rate over here. Like, you're locked in. You paid $500 to $1,000 with us already. Like, I can't do nothing for you. And it's like, dang. Like, once I left there and I went to a company that cared about that stuff, I was like, okay, I like this. Like, yeah, it felt like I was using my powers for evil type shit. You know?
I get you. Yeah.
And I'd rather not. Like, I've been through enough, and I guess maybe the aspect of me being in college and going through it as a kid and not getting what I expected.
You got fucked over.
Yeah,
you ain't trying to fuck no one over no more.
Exactly, because like why? Like what's
the feeling of getting fucked over or making false promises,
and even if it works for long enough to like the scam to work,
you get away with it.
Yeah, eventually,
something's
gonna your patterns in life come back, bro.
And it's funny because with karma, they always say it could happen tomorrow. It could happen 40 years from now, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is like, it's one of those things where it's like the moment something bad happens in your life, you're like, damn, it was probably that one time I did this one thing. And it may or may not be that. It may not be karma. It may just be life, but you're mentally, you're going to be like, I'm a piece of shit. It was that one time I did that one piece of shit thing, right? That's why my grandma has cancer.
You can look at like, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're paying it forward. I like to keep it pretty. You ever count cards in blackjack where it's like a positive and a negative?
Count cards?
Have you ever counted cards?
I'm not smart enough, so now I can't.
I like to think about life in the terms of counting cards. I can feel it when it's like, dang, life is getting at me or life owes me, and I'm just kind of like letting it flow because you can't control it. Like if, let's say you're stuck in traffic in some accident that was never supposed to happen for an hour and a half, man, I was meant to be here. Because like I take it that way. I've seen some crazy shit.
You're not saying, oh, it's karma. It's for that bullshit thing I did that one time.
Maybe it is.
Oh, okay.
But you got to be like water, like flow. Like whether it is, whether it ain't, you got to keep doing what's good for the people that you. Okay, you can't control what you can't control, right? But you have radars for the ones that you know that you can do good by, because it really does come back, and no one wants to deal with an asshole or someone like it really just like, I guess is reeking all the benefit without bringing it into the table type of thing. And I think the more you really give, it just becomes a natural thing. You don't even think about it. It's just like it's there, and it's just who you are rather than like being selfish and just like consistently being like no, and it's like all of a sudden, yeah, I'll give you a little something. Nah, like it's vice versa. And I've been both ends of a person myself. Like when back in my day when I was working like rock and like. I felt like a shitty person. Don't get me wrong. So I almost felt like I had to fill a void. That's where all the being able to drink so much started from, because we'd go out crazy. Yeah, like and then we'd work 12-hour days and go out and come back and come in at 6 a.m. and do it again. Like it was one of those things, right? But I felt like maybe it was me just feeling so shitty and being like
drinking.
Just
drink so much to forget about that fucked up thing you did.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it feels like that because everything else I've done since, I've really guided towards trying to make sure I'm not taking more than I should. I'm really bringing something to the like in business, like from whether it's loans, whether it's software, whether it's anything I do, even this, Yeah, I want to provide some. I guess I haven't told you a lot of the shit I talk about here in a while, but for the most part, like just it is something that. I think provides insight, helps humanity, and just understanding different perspectives of stuff at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break, And then we'll be right back. This is going so good. You ever hear about those cases where there's someone that...
And we're back.
Oh, yeah, and we're back. Thank you. You ever hear about those cases where, like, someone is very invested, or they finally have the time where they're like, yo, you ever sat down and actually read the agreement from Apple? And, like, they'll read it, and then it'll be like...
Have you?
Oh, no. But I'm saying, like, there's those ones where, like...
It
not
fucks
just
you over.
Yeah, not just Apple, but, like, other, fucking...
Everything.
Everything.
Like
they'll
social media and everything.
Yeah, but there's those one cases where they read it, and it'll say something where, like, if you read this far, say this password, and you get $5,000 or something. Just because they want to prove, like, look, no one reads this shit. And if you do, like...
I don't know a single company that will put that in an agreement just to prove a point.
You've never seen it?
I wanted to see that person cash that $5,000 in.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, there's cases of that, of, like, you could, like, maybe fucking some chip brand. You could win a lifetime supply because you've read this far, and then it's, like, prove that you've read, like, you email them and be like, hey, I saw your clause about this and this, and they're like, oh, shit, you actually read it. Because most people will just scroll to the bottom to press continue and sign your name and then could go about your day. I want to say most people will do that. It takes very rare for people to read.
I feel like that might have been an Instagram reel you saw.
I feel like it, but it's got to be real though.
Dude,
it's got to be a real reel.
I think of it as like, would you just think of it, basic terms. Would you do that? Would you as a business put in, let's see if someone does, okay, right? Now maybe. Someone's tax department was like, yo, we have like 100 bands left over of like, we gotta write it off.
Let's do an experiment.
We can say we put it into this project. And then the project is them doing the fucking analysis to see how many people actually look at the terms and conditions, or something. Like,
I could see it happening.
Maybe, but dude, like when's the last time a company was like, thank you, here you go. For anything.
I don't know. Never.
Motherfucker's struggling right now.
Yeah, that's true. There's no more giveaways. It's all percentages. They're giving away percentages off, not fully free things like 100%.
Yeah,
it's percentages off, whatever.
Everything's networked now. Even my company. Hey, come do a business. I'll give you credit.
All right, so something I do want to talk about. I know we've talked about a lot now, but going back to I want to say one. College ball as a whole is crazy. Secondly, you're in a very, I want to say, a niche position for football.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where...
outcast, I'd say the least.
Yes, for sure. I mean, in all movies, they're kind of just, like in Waterboy, the black guy's the kicker, and all they have him do all practice is just run
That's
sprints.
Super rare, by the way. Black kicker is super rare, but when they're good, they're good.
Black, anything's rare, so yeah, I get it. Anything successful, black is rare, so I get it. I'm just kidding. But no. So what I'm saying is, okay, going into kicking, and I think one thing we have talked about a little bit, but it's always something that interests me is, so as a kicker on a college football team, think back in the movies. College is a time people get drunk, they fuck, they experience college life for the first time, alone from their parents, alone from their home. It's their first time they're living on their own. In movies they show these crazy parties. In college sports, they show all the access they have to women and alcohol and all that stuff. So like as a kicker though, it just seems like, what was practice like? Were you like, what I'm saying? Were you just going kicking a few balls and then it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go back and party? Like, were you able to be a college football kicker and live that college life of parties and going out and making mistakes in that sense?
I mean, I guess it opened the door for that, definitely. Especially like, dude, okay, so not that everyone can do this, because like I think just people's bodies process alcohol a little bit different, but
oh, for sure,
like it didn't really have an effect on me like in college. So I was able to live and go experience a great time, and then still honestly perform almost better in a weird way. Sometimes better than when I was just, maybe it was the stress of like just waking up and actually be like, compared to when I was still drunk from the night before. Sometimes practice went better in a weird way.
As someone that is a drinker from the military, from just
that golf swing hits a little nicer when it's right on the edge, right? Like
yeah, dude. No, I totally get that. And actually, real quick before something about that is like I actually have it a video, but at one point there was like remember that show, that UFC show? What was the one where it was two pro fighters and they'd get a team? The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
the Ultimate Fighter.
In the same house. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was one season, I think, with George St. Pierre.
Oh, he brought the coach on.
That
the
was
drunk coach.
Oh yeah, he had to get drunk before, and he was like badass.
He beat every single person back to back to back to back.
Yeah, dude. And then like in like the most nonchalant way, and his body type clearly showed like it wasn't like overweight, but he just had like a slob body
compared to what he should have been.
He was such a badass as a fighter, and he was like. Yeah, I have I have to get drunk before, not get drunk, but have a few drinks, and that's how I train, and that's how I'm good, and I've trained my body to drink alcohol and be this way, and be a top-notch fighter. But like, I like that because I feel like not a lot of people can do that. I felt like, and I'm not bragging, and I don't even think this is like a flex or anything, but I think for the boys it might be listening. But like in the military, I was that person. I could get drunk as fuck. I could stay up all night. But, you know, on a Saturday at 6 a.m, me and the boys would wake up and still hit the gym. Maybe still hungover, maybe still buzzing. But, like, some of the best workouts I remember were being hungover.
Or fatigue.
Yes. And, like, you were so just fucking, what is it? Your body was just so, what is it? It loses all its, where your veins pop and everything because you're from.
You're like dehydrated. Yeah,
you're so dehydrated. Yeah. I just remember getting the best pump almost from, like, either a buzzed workout or, like, a hungover workout. And I was, like, I remember, like, I just kind of went throughout the military as that was my life. Like, no matter what I did, if I had training the next day, if I had work the next day, if we were going to go out the next day, I was always going to hit my gym. I was always going to get my workouts in, and I was going to do them to the best I possibly could, no matter how shitty I felt. But it takes a certain person to do that because there are also other people where they get drunk and they're like, fuck the gym, fuck this. I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to do that. No, like, there's people like us where we lock in and it's like, I like this feeling I'm getting from alcohol. I want to take it to another approach. And
I will say this: no matter what the event, if I say I'm going to be there, even if it's 4, 3, 5, if I go out, then I will be there.
I kind of do that now. Sometimes I like, mean? Yeah, like.
But when I was younger, the working out and like it almost so they would grade us at ASU, and there was this thing called Hell Week during spring ball, and it was like basically putting everybody against each other who had the best like workouts, and they would make us do these routines where
in the gym or on the field.
So they had a bubble in Tempe at ASU.
Yeah,
you go in there.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool when you walk in. So like you open the door and they tell you, all right, ready? Because it depressurizes and pressurizes the room.
Because
it's like
a balloon.
You feel the whole room just inflate, dude. It's kind of weird
when the door's shut.
And then they open it through, and it's just like bright lights, and it's like blinding, and then you can see the whole field. But we would practice every morning in there, and this is cold. Like I remember it was fall, or is it fall? No, winter. So January 2015 ish. And that was like when I was first starting to go to ASU, and it cold as hell. Like I remember the practices were like I would go in shorts and tees, but because the dome was cold, but it was a mile from the stadium. So yeah, it was like fucking blistering cold. We'd go to, once we get to practice, it was cool, but like, this is where the Hell Week thing, they lay out, normal practice was like chill, like everyone did their own position stuff, and we had running, but low-key, super light work in football compared to what we would do in soccer, in terms of running and stuff. Weightlifting was way harder, though. Weightlifting was definitely like, holy crap, like this is a D1 program. So that's where like all the strength and all the people I would see in there were like, holy shit. Like,
was weightlifting going in and doing your own shit, or
no? You were grouped up. You had your sets. They knew your weights.
Everyone
knew
did
every dime of what you could do, and they're pushing and pushing and pushing, and it damn near breaks you. But that's what you need. Like that's what grinds you out, and like. Those moments when you're there with those other guys doing the same shit you are, you develop respect for them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of those things.
And that's something we talked about during break was, and I know a lot of people are going to give me shit, but I think I can say this because I was in the military and you played college ball. But something that I think we can both relate on is that you keep bringing this up, you know, that, you know, you're going through a shitty time, but you're at the same time, you're experiencing it with your team. You're all going through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those times where you can't just be like, oh, boo-hoo me. It's like, well,
that's
dude,
where your character comes out.
Yes, everyone around you is also experiencing the same shit. So who are you to be such a bitch that you have to make it be like, oh, it only hurts me. You don't think it's hurting the guy next to you? Bro, the military was the same way. And that's something I kind of liked about it was that you didn't have the option to really bitch because the person you would bitch to, they're like, yeah, so am I, and what, dude? Like, it fucking sucks. I get it, and it's like, but at the same time, you're experiencing it with each other, and you can learn through each other, like how they get through it and stuff. And so it's like I said, not that I'm comparing the military to sports or anything, but in that sense, like at that level, it does come down to that where who can you look next to? The person next to you going through the same exact shit,
Yeah.
and you can just be like, that's how they handle it. I should be that way too, or I can't be a bitch about it if they're not, type thing.
Definitely learned a lot of that through like soccer and like Mexico and like being around that group of kids that soccer was their whole life.
Yeah,
And I could really see them like that's where I developed the like I'm gonna put my dead ass my life on this field for the people around me. I better get that same feel across, and that's how I would approach my workouts, how I would approach like everything I was doing at the time, because like I had a commitment to this team, I had a commitment to what I was doing.
Yeah.
Now, but when it came to ASU and like the whole, I was still becoming a part of the team. So don't get me wrong, I definitely was doing things that I shouldn't have been as a child. 18, going into a world like ASU, coming from not being able to like not being able to, because my parents definitely let me. I just never really went out. Like here in Yuma, growing up, didn't really go and drink and stuff.
I didn't either.
You know, like here was a moment or two I snuck out like when I was younger, and I wouldn't go have like I went to a party or whatever, but like once, it wasn't like a normal thing.
That was the same, yeah.
And
You weren't
so-
one of those kids that went over to Mex and stuff during high school?
No, I really that I stayed away from.
Same.
I
I
mean, my
never
parents are from like my dad's from Sinaloa and shit. I've seen some legitimately crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I didn't like to fuck around with it too much. When I got a little bit older, it was like okay, like San Luis and Algodones ain't that bad. Now it's crazy. Right now, it's like don't be going over there if you don't know what the move is. Like, you
Yeah.
got family, and everything, yeah, cool. But like, you're just going out there to just like fuck around. Be careful. Very careful. And that's not me threatening. I'm just saying, like in general, like
Don't fucking go out there. Don't go out there,
brother. But like, yeah. So ASU, right? Like, I'm over here experiencing this world, but like, I'm balancing it with the sports stuff. And at this point, I've already figured out, because the few months I was at Arizona Western, I kind of started drinking a little bit, and I was like, all right, like, I'm only doing football. I can't do anything else. I'm kind of bored, so let's go out. And so kind of figured out like pretty good at this drinking thing.
Yeah.
And here's the funny part. Like after a few weeks at ASU, then we had the Hell Week thing. The Hell Week, they grade you. Like literally you have like Madden, you have like a 78, 82,
Yeah.
90, same shit, right? For speed and all these different workouts. And that mat they lay
put it as a whole. And,
yeah.
all
They
the
lay out this wrestling
overall.
mat. And they put and they mix everybody together. And they're trying to like get a real like objective stance of athleticism, agility, and so they make you do all these crazy workouts. Like you start in a line, you walk, like you flip through a mat, doing all these crazy like beep, roll, beep, flip, boop, like 7-8 times, sprint, and then they're measuring everything. They're doing sprint drills, like cutting drills, and like work like incorporating weights, and they're just like checking. My highest graded day, I showed up to practice and I was still drunk from the night before. So I was like, oh crap. And I was a kicker, but low key I had a fast 40 for like being a 6'2", 220 kicker at the time. Coming from soccer, I ran a 4.61, like 40 time. And it doesn't sound fast, bro. In real life, watch someone run a 4.6. That's huge. Fucking fast.
Yeah, you're like a bear on fucking running.
That's
like when you find out a bear can run
So
40 miles
I'd be
per
doing
hour.
the
It's like God, that
sprints,
big thing can
passing a running back or two, and then like, who the fuck is that guy? Like, that's the kicker.
and that's
But it go like that's why like when my freshman year at Western, I had 47 tackles as a kicker, but I chased the motherfucker down. I took it out of the end zone because that hurts my stats.
Yeah. Did you ever have any moments where you had to take down the person running the ball? Like you got that far?
Oh, several times. Yeah, that's why I got 47 tackles my freshman year at JUCO.
Were you this big in college?
Dude, honestly,
I'm saying
I was
thickness-wise.
Yeah, no. Even like right now, I'm like probably like I'd say like
You don't seem like you were a small kicker. I mean,
hell
not
no.
that I'm
I
saying
mean, honestly, I was 250 at U of A.
6'2".
6'2", 250.
Yeah.
Right now I'm like comparable, maybe like, honestly a little bit more. But when I was at ASU, I was like at 220, but I was fucking ripped at 220.
Yeah.
225, like I had a six pack, and it's like okay. That's when I was fast as fuck. I can like, I think if I really honed down, I probably could get back to that. But I'm like, we're grown now. If I had a reason to, I definitely would,
Yeah, for sure. And that's the adult thing to do.
But I just like when it comes to like the whole, there was a reason I was playing at ASU. Like I wasn't just a kicker. Like like this is just some guy going up and kicking the ball. Like I can't say anyone from the street can go do that. I was just lucky and the ability to be able to do so. But it still took me time to learn and go through the trials and tribulations of being a kicker. You know, like it's mostly mental. As strong as you have to be, like you have to like be able to do that on command, all four quarters in front of. And when you do it thousands of times, then it's like, okay, it becomes a normal thing. But when you're coming in from high school to college, it's your whole world, bro. Like my legs, when I played my first game against BYU with U of A, 70,000 people, 100% packed stadium. My legs couldn't feel it. And I don't get nervous. I just felt nervous. Like I didn't know how to explain it.
I was gonna ask you if you ever got nervous.
But like it was one of those things that I was like, oh, like the muscle memory of it kicks in. You don't think about it. Your body knows. And if you don't do it that many times, like those moments when the quarterback at the Super Bowl, the final play, dude, it's so intense. If you've never been in a situation like that where there's real pressure, bro, like that will break you.
What practice sake? What are some things that what drills would they do to kind of recreate the level of anxiety or stress of fucking fourth down or just like end of the game, fucking final kick this wins.
There's nothing besides the experience to really
of an actual game.
But they would so when we did camps, they would put people all around, like literally like your path all around you.
Just the route you take to run
the ball. As you're kicking the ball. Yeah, and just like trying to rattle you. Though when they do like even for the long snappers, punters, and kickers all kind of practice together. The long snappers, we do a tunnel of people, and they have to get it right through that. Like
shoot it straight down.
Yeah, these guys, dude. When you catch the reason like the punting takes a minute is because like you got to really catch a ball that's bombing at you. Like it's not like a quarterback throw is like cool, catch it. This is fucking like it's a bullet, dude. Like,
and it's a weird
throw. You gotta be like, yeah, you got to catch it underhand. So
but I'm saying the way it's not a quarterback toss. It's not this. It's some guy in between his legs throwing it back.
These are dimes. These are spirals.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
this ball coming at you is coming at you at like probably 60 miles an hour. Like it's something.
So that's the first stress. Is I hope I catch this fucking ball.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, if it's in here, all right, I can catch it. Once it starts coming like fast at you at a different angle, the further away from you, the harder it is to catch.
The time you got to bring down.
So like so your timing as a punter, 1.15 seconds you got to get it off.
Makes sense.
Full snap is 1.95.
Oh,
if not, you're getting hit. Like someone is like, you see how close these guys are when they kick a ball, and they're like, oh, they're like maybe a foot away.
They put the hands up and the ball goes like right here.
There. Yeah. So like that's
half a second later they would have got the ball. Yeah.
Like most of the time they're not coming like that, but when they do, that's why it always has to be consistent. You can't change your cadence, your trajectory at any kick. They all have to be the same. So you just have to get used to doing it that fast. Always.
Yeah.
There's no exception. And that's a big point about punters. Like you might be able to boot the ball, but how fast can you get that motherfucker off when 10 people coming at you?
Yeah.
But the few times at Western, I love the dudes, but they were not long snappers. I will say that. Everywhere else, I had legitimate long snappers at U of A, ASU. Even when I went to UGA, they had a real long snappers fucking snapping. But if like a few games at Western, I had to recover. Meaning, the ball went over. I'm over here catching the ball, or it falls, and I pick it up, and I'm running.
You have to. There's no time.
And these guys, I know it's JUCO. These guys are D1 motherfuckers. They're not like
they have the body, they have the skill, they just don't have the brains.
I'm like 6'2", like what if you look at my film when you're watching me on the field, I look small. Like I'm looking up at almost every single one of the
Yeah,
players.
they're monsters, bro. That's crazy.
And that's who's coming at these receivers and running backs that are fast. Don't get me wrong, but dude, breaking through that is difficult. So, but I'm a big dude, so when the ball would come, or if the ball was kicked and I had to go hit, I was down.
See, and I think that's something like about how big you are. Like I said, like I would assume you were kind of not of the norm as a kicker. I assume a lot of them are either tall and skinny or tall or not as thick as you are. But you kind of benefit. You got the leg, you got the strength, you got the accuracy.
Big guy.
You're a big dude. Worst comes to worst, you have to run the ball, or worst comes to worst, they break through the line and you have to be the last
But I wasn't scared
line
of
of
them.
defense.
That
That's
was the
what I'm
best
saying.
part.
Yeah.
And the crazy part was in soccer, they were smaller than me, but I was just as fast as them.
You're like a Pat McAfee.
So like, yeah, dude, I met Pat. He was cool as fuck when he was a cold kicker.
I love that guy. Yeah.
But Pat McAfee, he's a little bit smaller. Like he's like 5'10", 5'9".
He's bigger now that he's not playing football.
No, I'm saying even
like-
size-wise, but he's like a little like rocket, bro. He's like,
A little psycho, yeah.
yeah, and that's where he gets his. It's something about the way he brings the energy through his kicks was crazy when I first. Saw him.
Yeah.
But he was one of the coaches that would go up to Wisconsin.
Oh shit.
Like
That's
he
cool.
actually
Hell
like
yeah.
like at Whitewater, Wisconsin. He like him like Thomas Morstred, the guy for the Packers at the time, the redhead. I forgot his name. All these guys, Marquette King, they would all go kick and train, and then those guys would then train the college guys, and then the college guys would then train the high school dudes. Like it was a big like not a fraternity, but basically like it was this universally like group that you should just all kicked and punted, you know, universally gathered.
Is there any way you can best explain like the level change from going from high school football to college, as far as the speed, the power, the strength, everything? Because you're going from high school, where majority of these kids are playing just to get through life, just to try something, whatever. College, you're starting to get into that like you're good enough to play college ball, and as well as maybe some of you are also trying to make it to the next level, so you're trying even harder. So like when playing on the field, like your first game, like did you notice anything like crazy different?
Yeah.
The speed and people defend. Like,
Okay. Cibola was great in Yuma, but in terms of like nationwide, let's just say like our linemen were smaller than the kicker. So when you go to junior college and even the linemen are just freaking just bulldozers from D line to O line. The receivers are faster than any receiver you ever had in high school.
it's day and night.
It's day and night. The hits that you hear a car accident every time. In high school, it's like, oh, did he tackle him? I can't tell. No, this oh, he's down. Like there's hits. I remember getting in high school. I had a few hits that were like I got mostly got hit in high school. At Western, I would go and smack, and there was a few times I'd see like a white flash, just like a car accident, and I'd turn around and like the craziest hit is I did a kickoff, and it was like 9 yards deep. It was against Eastern Arizona. The guy did a reverse, so the whole team goes to the left. Him and his personal protector go right, and I'm the only one that goes right with them. So it's 2 against 1.
Yeah.
I smack the guy in front of him, and the guy in front of him hits him. So like they're both on the ground, and I end up tackling the guy, so plays good. But the guy that I hit first gets carried off in a stretcher. And then the other team was like, that was a kicker.
Oh, the kicker that took him out? Yeah.
I was the one that took him out. And I go back to my sideline. My sideline's going crazy too. They're like, oh shit.
You can do it all.
No, but like I'm in the trenches with them. I'm not gonna just sit here. Oh, go get the ball.
I'm a kicker. I only kick the ball.
No, I would do
I'm
what I
ready to
needed
take a
to.
hit
Like,
if I need to.
You need me to throw? I had a few throws that like 2-point conversions and stuff. I'm like, you need me to throw it? I'll throw it. Whatever. Like we had some
Like some
fakes
trick
and random
plays
stuff. We
or
never
something?
really ran them because we were pretty good at Western, but they were there.
Yeah. No. So okay. So I mean, I think I asked you, but I think we kind of jumped around it. But so what was in college at? Let's just say.
Oh yeah.
So where'd you play more, ASU or U of A?
U of A, I played games full. Like,
on TV type shit.
Yeah, ASU.
Actual season?
I left right before I would have played against Texas A&M, that 2015 season, but I left right before.
Okay,
like,
so-
literally like weeks before. The coach called me. He's like, "Why aren't you at practice?" I was like, "Coach Graham didn't tell you." I left.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So But that's where, and right before that, like, well, I guess that's one thing I haven't like, on when I left Western, like when I left ASU, went to Western. During that time, UGA was recruiting me, like the Bulldogs, right? So I went through the whole recruiting process with them. They actually gave me an offer. They're like, "Here's a full ride." So that was a cool adventure because they actually flew me out and like
To the campus or what?
yeah, like I went to Athens, dude, 110,000 person stadium. That was like, I'm not even joking. I had a poster of Georgia in my room growing up. That was my dream school.
Damn.
And so when
UGA specifically or just
UGA specifically.
Okay.
When I had, because they're SEC, they won like the national championship like 2 or 3 times in a row after that. I would have had a ring if I went there.
Oh wow.
And so like what happens is leave Western. I get All-American at Western, as I mentioned earlier. One of the players, Chooks, love the dude. He was playing at UGA. He got an offer. He was one of the All-American players at Western with me when he was here. And his coach was the special teams coordinator. And I don't know what happened in practice, but the coach asked the linebackers, he was like, "You guys know any kickers?" Like, "Our kicker sucks." Like Chooks literally said he raised his hand and that he told me, like, "Hey, the kicker at Western was cold." He's like, "Give me his number."
Damn.
And then he literally like, Chooks messaged me on Twitter and he was like, "Yo, like, coach asked me for your number and your info. I brought your name up. I don't know if he's gonna hit you up, but like, just letting you know." Literally, as I see the message, I get a call.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me about it, and he was like, "I want you to come out and kick in front of the head coach. I saw your film. Chooks showed me everything. And it's like, we need somebody, and we need your help, and I think you're the guy." And I was like, "All right," like, and that's how fast they usually would do things. They flew me out to Athens. Mark Rick was the head coach at the time for Georgia. Dude, pull up Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, Sonny Michel, Lorenzo Carter, Leonard Floyd, all these fucking dogs, dude. Just they play at Georgia at the time. And Chooks, he's a linebacker playing with the linebacker core at Georgia, just so you know, dude. These guys are every single year they got a few guys to the NFL. Like, these guys are legit. And he was like showing me. He was the one that hosted me, showed me everything. Like, if it wasn't for him, I would have never had an opportunity for Georgia. And like, so I thought it was just going to be me. They had a camp going, and I didn't realize it. But they're like, "We got you. We're here to see you. This is like literally a formality or whatever." But low key, they were for sure doing the same thing for like at least 3 other guys. But there was like 15 guys that way.
Oh, okay.
Like kick. But there was also catching and quarterback and running. But there was like 500 people. But they were hosting me, and they were walking me around for everything. And when the kickers got together, the head coach and everybody went, and it was just the kickers, and we were doing competition. I ended up winning the competition. Like, okay, so we do field goals across the field, and the last kick, they're like, "Take it back as far as you want. Like, show us what you got." To every kicker. Everyone's pushing it to like 58, like 60, 57. These are far kicks, right? Like, you go NFL. And I'm like, pick it up and like walk like 13 yards back. And I can like hear people being like, "Yeah, that's the motherfucker." Like almost like, you think he's gonna make a fucking 70-yarder? But boot the shit out of it. I hit the tower that's like 6 yards behind the field goal. And when I kick it, I can hear the head coach. He's like, "Holy shit." And then from there, like, after that kick, he's like, I won the camp from that one because that was the first kick, and I hadn't missed one before. So they announced the winner, and then the head coach was like, "Yo, come with me." And like, he took me to his cart. He drove me around campus and showed me like a few other, like, just asked me questions, like asking me about like, "How do you like campus?" Chooks talks very good about you and all this stuff. And then he's like, I don't know if you know my career, and Mark Richt. He was like, "I coached at Florida State have you heard of Robert Janikowski?" And I didn't tell him, or I don't know how it came up, but I was like, "Dude, this guy's like my idol." Like that, I was like one of the people I idolized growing up watching kickers, and I was like, "That's a kicker I want to be like."
Yeah.
And so when he said that, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, all right. And he's like, will you show me right now or today? You got more power than he did when he was in college. I want to give you a full ride. I believe you're going to do wonders here at UGA. And I was like, oh, shit. All right, bet. So I was like, as soon as you extend that offer, I am taking that. So they extend it. I accept it. I'm waiting for signing day. They get fired. So Mark Rick, my head coach, everybody from that organization gone. New coaches come in. They have a whole new recruiting class. So all of that,
Everything you did was
right to where I wanted it to be, right? And it was like shattered. So I was like, damn. That also was like, fuck. I did everything right at the time.
See, and that's where I feel like luck plays a part. That way you had bad luck. You had all the skill. You were the right man for the job, but
I still
you had
experienced so
bad
much
luck as
from
far as like yeah. But you weren't able to accomplish that goal as far as like being a part of that team because your bad luck just so happened that when they were like, yeah, we want you, they got fired. New people came in. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna scrap all that. We're gonna find our own guys, and thank you for trying. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's your bad luck.
But that's where I always come in and it's like, you never know.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Like keep flowing with it. And don't get like when that happened, I didn't really want to play that much anymore. Like I had my contract with Western, so I had to finish that out. Played the season.
So you just went and did that, found out they
so
got fired, so you went
JUCO,
back to.
You can still get recruited to a D1, so it's separate market. I was the number one recruit transferring out of junior college, and that's part of the reason I came up on the radar too. But they were still recruiting. Once you're at that, I had one more transfer left at the time. I don't know what the rules are now.
Yeah.
But once you transfer out, like I had to finish JUCO, and then I could have gone to UGA. In that point, I didn't sign in time for them not to get fired for me to be able to be committed in there. Because I was like, it went out, and I ended up still playing the rest of the season. And you know what I did? I actually, after El Toro Bowl, I started working that job where low key, not even playing. I was selling coupons, like selling
And
books
football?
of coupons. No, in Phoenix, like I stopped playing football.
This was after.
Like I literally like they made it seem like this big lucrative marketing job. It was literally just selling coupons, and
Like a
I was
booklet?
I was like, whatever it is, I'm gonna fucking do it. And so that's where my sales things first started. Then I sold cars. And then when I was at the car dealership, I started getting calls from like Cal Berkeley, U of A. I had a few other schools, and U of A was really serious. But I was already working, and I had to finish 2 more classes at Western for me to be able to transfer. And I hadn't done any school like that semester. It was already March. I was like, oh fuck, like I got till May, so I did 2 classes like that myself.
What classes?
It was some math class and a science class with labs. But they were short term up, but it was super fast. Like I was like, dude, I was like, I could do it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Got it done. Graduated. Perfect timing. My diploma didn't even come in until July, and I was already at U of A in June.
Oh shit.
So like it happened super fast. But that's like how I ended up at U of A. Because to be honest, it was a point of like when I was working, I was like, man, I kind of want to go back. Like I was already working, like waking up and being like, I'm out of football.
Go back to football.
Yeah, in my head, I was like, no more football. And then like being in sales and working for a while, I was like, okay, man, I'll give it one more chance. And that's when I went to U of A. And U of A was dope. Like I saw and got to experience some crazy shit. Got me media training and like all of it, you know. But definitely still, college ball ain't what they make it out to be. Nothing usually is, you know, in general. But like that U of A experience showed me a lot more of. I was like, dang. So everywhere I went, I kept just getting a bad end of the stick.
Yeah, it's funny because I always had this idea that college football was just high school football at a bigger level. It was go to school, you know, or wake up, go to weight room,
Where it
go to
changes
your
is
classes.
the money, bro.
Yeah, but there's also politics. There's so and so got fired, so we're just gonna go with another guy. You know, like there's so much shit that goes into it. It doesn't seem as simple as just like you had to worry about so much. Like, you know, am I gonna graduate from this school? What am I getting out of this school, sports wise? You know, what I'm saying, am I gonna play more at this school? Like because you would think, you know, you go to college. What's the goal? Is to graduate from college now, but what you're doing, the goal is graduate from college, get a degree, whatever. But also,
it's a dichotomy. Like, what do I choose? You know?
exactly, and it just seems so stressful to the point where it's like it's not even fun anymore. How do you even have the mental capacity to go through school as well as perform at a sport level?
I mean,
I feel like you're constantly on stress or thinking about like,
well, you
am
are.
I? How long am I going to be at this school for? Do I have to go to another one?
Football, day to day, full-time job or more. I'm there 10 hours a day.
Well, okay, real quick. For you as an athlete in college, what do you feel like was more important, learning or sports?
Well, I mean, I feel like unless you have a direction, like I said earlier, I don't think it really matters exactly what you're studying unless it's for a specific purpose. So
you have a reason.
I for sure took the football more serious than the school at any point. The school came easy to me either way, but I never really like. If football wasn't there, I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have cared.
So you were more like, I'm playing football and I get to go to school, opposed to I'm going to school and I get to play football.
Yeah, I went to football. I play football and I get to go to school. Because I had the option to play soccer and not go to school.
Oh, okay.
Because like, and I had.
So you were just as good in soccer to the point where you also could have played college soccer.
I played 2 games with the 3rd division Mexico team, like professional when I was like 16. And then, but like, I had good connections, and the travel team I played with growing up, like we were one of the top teams in the country. So like we had a little bit of like some eyes, but not enough for myself to be like I'm gonna like base my future on this. With football, all over the country, everyone knew me.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's not really a choice. It's like I need to do this. That's what it felt like. Yeah. And it got like that with pressure with time with people as well. Like it was like you're this kicker, you're that, and it felt like people almost expected me to do something with it. So I just drove with it, and you know, for as much as I wanted to, until I was like, okay, it's just time to head out. And that was after U of A. I mean, the experience at U of A was cool, but it stemmed from some interesting experiences with the team. Like the players at the time when I was there, they had an interesting relationship with, I guess, the coach. But you know, that's as much as I'll say about that part of it. But for what it is, it still left me a bad taste, and I needed to leave. And when I left, that's when I started doing the sales stuff, and I felt more at home with that, like more regular, I guess, not so money media, like, and I knew something was up when I first left, but once I actually 2 years after, I believe there was like some type of investigation on this crazy shit that happened, not involving me or anything, but I'm saying like that was
with that school.
That was that coaching staff and what they were used to in general. And yeah. I was like, man, everyone I went through, it just left me a bad taste. And so I was like, man, I'm glad I went through it. So if I ever have a kid, I can help them get through the recruitment process and what it looks like if they want to. But dang, this is an interesting view on how things really work at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that you know, at the time when you were in school, there were low key frats and stuff, but obviously being on the football team, that also is their own kind of frat or their own kind of, you know, organization, brotherhood type thing.
Because we're doing everything all the time together.
Did you experience any like hazing? Any?
Okay.
Did you get fucking? They get branded a lot? That's
not
a big
personally.
thing.
I don't do that myself. I don't care.
You'll haze yourself.
I'll brand myself.
You'll talk down to yourself.
Do that every morning. Nah. And ASU no at all. U of A. So I came into U of A technically a junior because I already gone through freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
But they're doing some questionable shit to those freshmen. But the freshmen couldn't defend themselves. If someone tried to grab me, bit of a different story. And I was like, all the JUCO people that transfers, they didn't fuck with. They only fucked with the freshmen. but we were first years when I came in, and we would do camps. Like summer, would all be locked up in a freaking military base for a week, and so everyone's sleeping in the same bunks, and
Doing
like
bullshit
that's when the shit would happen usually. But like, nah, not to me. It was definitely a real thing though. Like, just see that video of like just this week of that university.
They pull up to the empty
yeah,
house.
what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
the guy is hitting the vape and hits the last beer. He's like, fuck it.
Clearly underage. He was like, "Oh, I think that's a fake ID." He hands the cop an ID. He's like,
"That's crazy. I never experienced any of that." But that's why ASU's frats got taken down
because of shit like that.
Shit like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always cases of
but U of A had
hazing,
real frat
people
houses.
dying from hazing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
that's why I try to avoid that. Even that like
and.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I know that is obviously we all know that's the thing that happens in college. You know, people take it a little too far. But as someone that is myself, that's very interested in infatuated with American Pie, those movies of going off to college.
American Pie.
Well, no, just like in that life, like the idea.
Well,
it glorifies.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's your final time away from home. In high school, I always saw college like it's a teenager fucking neighborhood.
I will say this:
There's a little town just ran by
ASU.
kids.
That wasn't the case. You had to really know people to party there. Even my freshman year, if I wasn't part of the football team,
It wasn't just like
no way I would
we
have
were
been able
just
to
bumping
party.
into parties.
If it wasn't for like people like my homeboy Alvaro or like all the girls we'll hang out with, good ratios, there's no way we would have been able to get into the parties that we were going to. But like that isn't true the same in like Georgia. In Georgia, they have real frat houses, like these mansions.
Yeah.
That you go to, it's like holy shit, like literally the American Pie style mansions, like that kind of stuff. So like there's like this balance of it, but at ASU, like the people and the rowdiness at ASU was crazier than the people and rowdiness at Georgia. Whole different crew. Like, and okay, think about a school like UGA. They're in a town like Yuma, maybe a little bigger, like 100,000 people, let's say. Their stadium holds 110,000 people. They're gods out there. Every time they go out, anytime they're like celebrities. They do whatever they want.
It's like the movies. Remember the Titans. The whole
Literally,
neighborhood, the whole city.
That's high school Texas. And they
The
were
whole
that
city
popular.
locks down for a
Imagine
Friday
that
night
times,
football
like,
game.
Probably 3, not even playing.
Yeah.
They could do. That was a difference from because ASU you got a big city. You got the Diamondbacks, you got Cardinals, you got Suns,
There's a lot of sports,
a lot of
going on.
entertainment.
Yeah.
UGA, you got Athens. U of A, you got Tucson. You got nothing besides U of A.
Well, even UGA, the professional wise, football. What's in Georgia there's nothing.
Atlanta is Falcons.
Atlanta, yeah.
But okay, Athens is like an hour and a half outside of Atlanta. So maybe.
Yeah. But other than that, there's not too much stuff coming out of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? I was near Georgia for a while. I was in because UGA I was very close by. No, I can't remember right now. But I was stationed over there for training, so when you said like it's a small town, I know what you mean by that as far as like in Alabama wise. But yeah, so okay, so my bad. Going back to like the hazing thing. So you never dealt with that. It was a thing that was around.
Yeah, it definitely was a thing. I think they were probably smart about how they pick their targets.
And I think on the news and the movies they do make it seem like no matter who you are, but you're brand new to this, organization, so we're just gonna fuck with you. It's not so much that. It's if you give off that we're able to fuck with you and you don't do anything, we're gonna keep it going. You don't seem like the type of person where like the minute someone tries to fuck with you, you're like, yo, I'm not that guy, and they learn that with you.
I had to set that right away at Western, like the first fucking day,
like it's prison.
Go
in and knock the biggest bad.
I'm coming in.
Out.
No, and I didn't come in with that mindset.
No.
I didn't even realize this was going to happen when I showed up to practice.
But you could.
I don't know what to expect with a college practice. So first day, I show up and this random dude, he's like, "Yo, you new?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What do you do?" I was like, "Oh, kicker. New here from town." He's like, "Oh, you're the kicker," and he like starts like fucking with me, like literally like he like I don't know, like got weird like handsy with me, and I was like, all right, like yeah. He's like, dude, "You're my bitch." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You fucking heard me." And I was looking around and I was like, "What? Wait. What the hell's going on right now?" And then he like, now he grabs me. And he has his, I have my pads on, but I don't have my helmet on. And he has his helmet on. And he grabs me and he's like, "I say you're my fucking bitch." So I grab his pads and I smack his helmet with my head like 5 times. Boom. And then I'm able to put my leg out and I toss him.
Trip him.
And he falls and I was like, "I ain't no one's bitch." And I walked away. Didn't say nothing. I was like, "Dude, I got no friends on this team." At first, everyone was after practice like, "Yo, I'm not gonna say his name, but I was like, dude, you just fuck toss that motherfucker. Good, dude. Fuck that guy. Like, he's always being a bitch. Yeah, he's like, they're big dudes and whatever. But I don't know what his problem was, but right away, from that, for a while, no one talked to me for like a week or two. And then, like, once I started playing with the team a little bit more, I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's cool.
Dude, you explained that. I'm telling you, like, it was just like me in the military, in boot camp, basic training, whatever you want to call it. Same thing for me. In all the movies, you seem like, oh, people get beat up in boot camp or they get picked on. They get only if only if you're a bitch. Or not even a bitch, but only if you're just someone that is very just passive aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, then yes, you will get picked on. But like myself, I think I was like you. I wasn't out trying to fight people. I wasn't trying to be a bully. But if someone was like fucking with me, I'm like, oh, I'm not the guy you fuck with. I'm gonna actually say something. I'm gonna push back. And then I got a lot of either I didn't make friends right away or I just got like, oh, he's not one to fuck with. He's not one to joke around with or play around with. So leave him alone. And I just, but without being a bully or anything, without being that douchebag, I was just like, I'm not the one to fuck around with.
You have to. Even like, okay. Like,
and for me, boot camp was easy. All that shit was easy
like,
for me.
People coming in and like dead ass, Buck South, Compton, like mixing all these people. The coaches were fucking dogs. Like there was just one time and like coach, they're all fucking like they're down. Like they're not like they'll say shit, talk shit. They want the players to be better, but sometimes the players they get past it and they're like they go heavy on the coach. And they almost start coming at them. And one time this coach and a player got into it. The coach threw down and he was like, "Fucking fight right now." They let them go at it.
A coach and a player?
And they let it squash and let it out. And that was it.
And no one ever said anything.
And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, this for real. And even other times, the D-line, they're badgering each other. And then they just keep talking shit, ruining the drill. Coach was like, everybody, stop. What the fuck you're doing? You two, scrap it out right fucking now.
See, and that's one of those.
But they don't do that no more. They can't do that kind of shit no more.
But you know what? That's one of those things where if it's managed properly and controlled, and you know, no one's just getting.
They got pads on. What they gonna do to each other?
Yeah, and no one's getting the shit kicked out of them. The moment someone goes down, it's like, all right, stop, squash it, let's do it now. See, like things like that. Like when you hear about that, you're like, dude, like that sounds very fucked up. But when it's done the right way, it can be such a huge impact on the team, on those two guys, because it is one of those things where it's like, yeah, you guys just want to yap, you guys want to fucking go at each other and push people around. And you keep doing that because you know someone's going to pull you apart. No, fuck that. You two fight right now.
If it gets to the point of disrespect, that's where I think, you know, like, that's why boxing's a thing. You know, that's why even in UFC MMA, they're talking mad shit to each other across the table right before they fight, and then afterwards they're hugging. Like, it's one of the. It's like, and I know like, violence is not promoted in any fashion whatsoever, but it is a great tool for education.
Yeah, it does. It does work. It's not all bad.
No, not at all.
You can get something
Someone's
out of it.
line, and like, okay, for example, I was head security for a few different spots in like Scottsdale, and someone's out of line, and no one checks them. They're gonna continue to disrespect the workers, continue to disrespect the venue. Yeah. That's not okay. And like,
not only that, but then other people see that and they're like, I can get away with that as well. I had to play a
fine line because like places like Toca Madera, like Maple and Ash, you got people that are like, dude, these guys are actually rich. Like,
they know people,
and they act a certain way, and like, so you got to work that fine line of like, okay, tell them, but also like, the managers want them to spend their money there, right? So like, how do you create this universal system or like way to communicate so that people like that can understand? And sometimes there's this one time like this guy, he was just being a complete asshole to the server. The server was asking them to leave. He like shoved his check into the guy's hip, and the guy like our server, and they're all in suits, like super nice and everything. And he was like just overbearing, way too much. And they're like, okay, we need these guys to like. He looked at me. He was like, we need them to leave. Manager on the radio was like, we need to get them out of here. And I was like, okay.
And your security.
I'm head security at this time, so I got 2 people in the front, and I'm like, okay, like I'll go talk to them. Like I got this. So the manager's looking at me. I'm like, hey, they've asked you guys to leave. We need you guys to get your stuff, and let's go. And they're like, I ain't going anywhere
Because they have money.
They're like,
They have that arrogance.
Their bill was like probably $3,000, like 4 people. So like they think they're like, I spend all this money here. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So do they. Stop ruining their night.
But they're also being respectful and
exactly.
And you're just
like
being a piece of shit because you can't. Yeah.
And so they're like, you gonna make me. And I was like, and I always had a consistent line with people that were fucked up, and for some reason it worked. But I was just always like, okay, listen, you can leave by choice, by force, or in handcuffs. Right now you have a choice. So let's go. And so,
they're like, so if I don't take this one, I only have 2 options.
Which I'm gonna
by force, or I'm gonna get arrested.
Me.
Yeah.
And I have my team, which we would have, like, but usually, and when it did get to that point, like there was times I would. That's one of the times I herniated my disc on my back because I threw somebody over the fence on the railing. I was like a cartoon. Here's the force, like, and so I was like, oh, my back. to be fair, he was probably like 190, 200. He wasn't a small dude, but like,
would you grab him on the belt loop or something?
Yeah, it was belt loop, and then like he had like a hard collar.
So it's
just a perfect fit.
It's like a perfect anchor.
The fence was only like maybe 3.5, 4 feet, if that. So,
and so how does that work? I know we're jumping around a lot, but so going into security now, how does that work? What's like the law? Like, what's the law? Like, you throwing someone out? Like after that all happens, is the cops gonna come down and run a full report? And you're gonna have to explain.
Once you get trespassed somewhere, you have to leave. Like I have the backing of the restaurant to make sure you get off the premises.
So no lawsuit ever came after you?
No.
Trying to throw someone out or nothing?
Because they don't have any.
It's covered by the restaurant
basis.
and everything.
Even if it was covered, there's no basis for them to draw a lawsuit out because it was never like, oh, I'm gonna strike him and fight him. Like it was usually always like if there was any moves pulled, it was like weird jiu-jitsu stuff or like to immobilize to pull them out. It was never like I'm gonna hit them, kick them, or like because I could definitely do that, but in the security standpoint, that will then cause issues over time. Like maybe not the first one, but like somebody is gonna get hurt, and that's what you don't want. You just want to mitigate your risk there because some people can get hurt. Even if you choke someone out, like you don't know if they have any conditions. Like all that matters. And so when you work in those restaurants, it's something to think about. But also being in that environment, protecting these people, like I got to also be a part of another. Like I want to say a brotherhood, but when you're in the industry and you're working with these people, like you have a different understanding of the way things work in comparison to like just being out. So that's where I gained a lot of respect from like me being at these restaurants and actually eating there to like working with a lot of these guys and being in that environment. But also like you'll notice there's rich people, there's celebrities, there's everything, and it's not consistent, like whether it's a celebrity or they're rich, whether they're a good person or not. It really is just dependent, like how they are. Like you never really know who's going to be cool and who isn't until you actually meet them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, like we know Caesar.
Yep.
Caesar, he's a server, and he's told us, they're the people that you never know how people are going to react. There's people that are douchebags and they leave the biggest tip, and there's people that are very nice and they leave no tip.
Oh, yeah.
You just never know what you're going to get from these people. And some people would feel entitled to where, especially, I mean, at your level, what you were doing, like I said, people have so much money that they're just like, I can do whatever I want. I can pay off. If I cause a ruckus, I'll just pay it off. If I hurt someone, I'll pay them off. You know what I'm saying? But
that's literally what they feel and what they say. And they will do it.
That's scary.
But that's the scary part. Like, who's holding them accountable for anything they do?
No one, because they're just like, I'll pay off anything. If I get arrested,
that's where you got to transcend outside of money. Like you can't just be cool with people because they're successful or they have pull, because you never really know the kind of person they are. So like, I guess it's back and forth, right? But you really got to go beyond the money and really get to know the person. I feel like,
Yeah.
because it's everywhere, bro. It's just what it is.
And so going back to doing security and all that stuff. So this is after college and everything. So you
This is during when I was doing like, I got a night job. So I have a lot of energy in general. So like, my job, I sit behind a computer, either in an office or in my house. I got a lot of energy at the end of the day. So like, instead of me going out and just spending money, I just work and, you know, I'd make new friends, and it was really just an entertaining thing.
mm-hmm.
And that was like maybe for 3 years, from 2022 till about half a year ago, a year and a half ago.
Yeah. No, okay.
So, but it did open up a lot of understanding, rather than just me going out and spending money. I got to an appreciation of the sourcing, logistics, what it takes to run these kind of places, and then more of like I don't know, more in-depth understanding of like, and it helps in a way, because maybe it's because I'm in sales, but just navigating socially, understanding the hierarchies and how things really work. You know, you can kind of like really get to tell if someone's bullshitting you, if they can do something or not, or if like let's say for instance, like I would have someone come in, at one of the restaurants, and they had like the private lounge. Then they had like, it was like a bachelor party or something, right? I had to trust whoever I was sending them to. So like, if they come out and they're like, hey, what's there to do tonight, or where do I go? I'm like, ask for this person at Cake, or ask for this person at Casa, ask for this person. So like, that's where I'm like, oh, I have the promoting manager, or that's a different person than if you have the actual GM. Then if you have like, so you have to know who you're dealing with, the level of pull to who you're going to send them to. So like, just kind of connecting people.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool that you do that, because it's kind of like they go to this bar or club or restaurant or whatever, and they name drop, and it's like, wait, you only know that name if you know someone.
So you have to like,
yeah,
call
yeah.
them
But you had
yeah.
those connections at that time, and was that through security, or is that just
a blend of football and being, I guess so. When I started doing the finance stuff, I started going and being in Scottsdale a good amount, and my coworkers. And my coworkers were regulars at a lot of places, so that built a relationship with the bartenders that I would go to, and then like just kind of like slowly started spreading. And then me being the security end, and those restaurants, like a lot of people would go to them, or they'd want to go to them. So like, they're like, oh, you're security there, and like they would remember you because of that. And I don't know, it just kind of slowly grew more and more. So the people hit me up like, hey, can I get a table at this place? I'm like, dude, I'm a host. Like, if it was a boy, I could hook them up. But if it was just like a person I met and like, yo, hook it up over here, I'm like, hit this number and I just give them the main line from Maple.
the one they could just get from the website?
Go on Google. But that's where like you really get a feel for it. And there's people, I mean, a variety, like amazing individuals. It's like, I would have never have thought that I would have had an interaction with you, but then here we are, you know, like from people in Scottsdale that are tourists to what that has helped with is, I guess, from rich to poor, I just have talked to any and everything. And I'm very like social. So like the owner of Banner or shit like that, Banner Health. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Uh-huh.
We're out, and then one of my buddies was like, hey, I want you to meet this dude. And he introduced me, and then later on, like, we exchanged like information in LinkedIn, and dude, he legitimately was the freaking CEO of Banner Health. And it was like, holy crap. I was like, okay, like you just never know who you're gonna run into, who you're gonna be around these places. And that kind of opened up like I'm like, dang, like this wasn't part of the plan, but I feel like this is a big avenue for like understanding the dynamic of how this place works. Entertainment is crazy, bro. Like, it draws in so much stuff. Like, you see UFC fights and like sporting events, all that stuff, and all that's drawn to that, right? So like, when you understand a whole other industry, it kind of plays, if it aligns into what I like, and I do like to go out and do stuff, and like, so the more I get about that, maybe one day I do want to run a restaurant and like understand that side of it. So maybe that's why I have like an inclination towards it. But like, it's all part of like the human element, what we enjoy. So like, how can we tap into that? And I just like to understand things. And for a time, it's super interesting seeing human behavior out there.
Oh, I can only imagine.
You know, like from all the clubs to like the restaurants and the intermixes between it and the people we'd interact with. It's a life that really, like, honestly, isn't real. Like it's like a thing like Miami, you know, like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with what you do, you're, you know, and I don't mean to sound disrespectful by any means, but I assume the level of wealthiness of these people that are coming, or celebrityism, whatever, that are coming into these restaurants that you are doing security for, they look down on you a lot. You're almost like a dishwasher type person, but because you're in such a unique place where these people spend their money and they're like, I love this restaurant. I have, you know, this place is only good for me for my amount of money. Yes, you may be considered at the bottom of the barrel of those establishments, but you're like a janitor in a high school. You may be just a janitor cleaning up shit, but you know of everything.
Well, here's the thing,
you're the eyes and ears on the wall. You hear things, you see things, and it's like you're just security at this restaurant, but it's a high value restaurant with high value people, and you still have something. You're learning something. You know what I'm saying? Like you security there is not the same as security at a fucking a no-name restaurant, bar, nothing.
The dynamic there too, though, is that's what they expect. They expect me to be the janitor that has been just a janitor his whole life. But when they actually interact with me, and when I'm security, I'm the first person they see.
Exactly.
Last person they see when they're leaving, and even throughout the restaurant. So like, there's an element of like authority that they're like. There's times I really have to be like, yo, like, can't do this shit. Like I do this all the time. I'm like, who I'm you not are, asking.
Yeah.
Take your hat off.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like
we have a dress code here.
Or whatever. Yeah. So like
you have to enforce
the bullshit, right? But the way I enforce it and the way I communicate with these people, they're like, okay. Then I think the main element that kind of made me stand out is that I did work there, and like, no fault to any of these people, but yeah, like these rich people are used to treating a lot of these guys like trash. But and
because they can afford to just pay for their emotional damage they give them.
And so when like coming in, and the reason I got this job is because for a while I was a regular at Toca Madera, just going in.
This is a restaurant.
Yeah,
you're talking to Brokies here, so you gotta.
Yeah, it's a Mexican restaurant. Check it out, Toca Madera.
Sounds like a sushi shop the way you say it.
No, so it's a Mexican restaurant, Toca Madera.
Thank you.
You know, so
knock on wood, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh,
knock
wow.
on wood, but in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. I never really thought of it that way.
You're saying it like it's a Toca Madera.
But it's like a big, like, show.
Okay.
Food's not bad. I'm saying, like, you go play for $100 steak, it's good. But you go to somewhere else to pay $100, it might be a little better. But the food is good, so no knocking on the food. The drinks and the environment are why people go there.
The experience you get.
Dead ass. You have fire shows and whole like freaking type shit, like
Mexican type shit.
But like modern, no Mexicans.
Oh, okay.
Okay, maybe not no Mexicans because the guy was there, but you know what I mean, like
because you were there. The security. Yeah. Technically,
no. I was a regular before I got the job as security. Like I would literally go to these restaurants, and like the bartenders knew me, the workers knew me. I started working there because one of our friends was also working there as a server, and I was like, dude, low key, like right here in the middle of the week, I need to stop. Like, you think you can give me a job, like so I can stop doing stuff at night? And he's like, hold on. He literally goes to grab somebody, and he's like, this is him. And I was like, what? He's like, all right, you're hired. I was like, what? He's like, I need a security guard. You good on Thursday? I was like, dang, I was like that. But
but this is while you're still in school playing football.
No. This is me in finance. I'm already working dated like 9 to 5. Like,
oh, so no more school, nothing?
No, yeah, the thing is, like, I'm so used to being out here because like from Rocket Mortgage to all like the loan officers. That's how we'd all hang out there.
Oh, okay.
And so like just got used to spending a lot on dining and drinking. Bottom gist of it, dead ass. Like you can say we did a lot of shit, but dead ass just dining and drinking. You spent so much money, and that was one of the places we could go to consistently. But I was like, I need to have like a little outlet outside of just going out during the week. So I started working, and it went from I'm gonna work 2 nights a week to dang, I started working hella. But I would just work, go to my day job, and then like just consistently keep doing shit.
So, but being taking that job as security, like you're totally fine with confrontation as far as if it had to get physical.
Yes,
because
you've seen me outside, haven't you? No, like okay, growing up, and just from some background, before I got to soccer and football, I trained karate, MMA, boxing my whole life. Like up. That's why I know how to kick. I learned how to swing my leg through MMA.
I just got it. You got it from soccer.
But I mean, it's a big. That's another spot too. But even when I got to soccer, like it was already abnormal. But I'm 100% okay with confrontation. I almost invite it, but not like I don't look for it. Like meaning like, and same thing as 50 Cent. Like I don't want a problem, but if there's a problem, no problem.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like and I take that for everything. And the last thing I want to exert to is violence, but I'm very confrontational. If something's out of line, or if something like someone pushes me at the crest, or something like they're walking by and I can feel like when someone's like excuse me, or when they're actually like boom, like shoulder checking or like pressing by. Just to make sure, I'm like, I'll stop them.
You won't just let them go past?
No,
you?
I'm like, hey, was that on purpose, or like
you good, or
yeah, are you okay? Like, you drunk, or what's going on? Like,
okay.
But usually, if I'm around like a group, because I don't want them to like, and being security, like a lot of the groups I hang out with are usually girls, and so like I'm just being used to being around them. So when that happens, I get more protective than usual, especially in those scenarios. But if it's the boys, it's a little bit different sometimes. But for the most part, I'll interact it.
That's cool. Yeah,
and I'm very close with them too. So like, if something happens, I'll be right here.
Yeah.
I'm like so they know I'm comfortable. Like I'm not trying to fight. Just like that is not an energy. You shouldn't be doing that in the club. You know, like someone's gonna find out, and I'm okay being that person.
See, and that's why I asked, because with you, like clearly knowing you're a bigger person, you're thick, you're all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? You're athletic, you come from an athletic background.
I was gonna say some gay shit, but never mind.
You're thick? That's what she said, or what?
Thanks, Daddy.
Yeah, we'll keep that in. No bleeping that out.
No, fuck that.
No. But what I'm saying is you clearly didn't get the job because you're a big person. You have to also enforce. You also give off that because I'm gonna say this. Meeting you for the first time, or not for the first time, but like now, but like when I met you up until this point, even my girl says it. We love you. You're such a just nice person to be around. You have great energy. You're happy all the time. You're this and that. But at the same time, we notice you're a big person. You're thicker. You're bigger. I know I'm not gonna talk shit to you thinking I'm gonna be able to fight you. I don't have that confidence, and I think a lot of people would look at you and think that as well. But I feel like now that you're telling me this is something I'm learning today for the first time, but that you did security for like restaurants and stuff. So I'm thinking like clearly I was thinking like, did you get picked because you're a big guy?
I didn't start off at head security.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is like, you didn't get picked because you're a big person. You got picked because you're a big person, as well as you don't take no shit. What I'm saying is there's big people that are just soft teddy bears.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Even that guy at Western, he was a 6'8", probably 280. I was 6'2", 220 at the time, and he had a helmet on. Like, I am not scared of a fight. You know?
So that's what I'm saying. So you got the job based off of, because I was thinking, I'm like, I almost feel bad for security guards, because that's why I asked.
Oh,
like,
you're just big in security. Like,
yeah.
I can spot those from a mile away.
Because like, imagine you like
BFG looking ass.
Because like, yeah, exactly. Because like you, I'm assuming you went to this job and they were like, you're hired, and then they were like, we need security. Can you do that? You're kind of just like, I get it. I'm a big guy, whatever. So I guess I can do security. That's why I'm saying, were you ready for the confrontation? Because then it takes another level of, yes, I mean, I've met people that are.
Physically, I was ready. The conversation took some getting used to because these guys coming in entitled already as fuck. So like,
You had to learn
how do you gain respect from someone that's already looking at you like trash?
Yeah, yeah. How do you gain
Right?
respect from someone that doesn't want to give you respect in the beginning? Yeah,
You got to earn it,
and you can't
I
use
think
it.
it's the way you carry yourself
And
around the restaurant,
yeah.
and the way you present yourself, and all those little components, and that's what I would notice, in just the restaurant aspect, right? So like this applies everywhere, not just in the restaurant, but if you apply it to a space that is going to matter, that's where I was like, okay, like I'm interacting with them, so like they're feeding off of what I've already projected, so that, like I think about it in a normal terms, this is happening all the time,
Yeah,
you know. So you always got to be on that mode. I think at the end of the day, you know.
yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with you, like you were able to also look the part. Your eyes are drying. The fan's probably drying your eyes out.
Yeah, you're right.
But like you're also one to look the part, but also if it came down to it, you could either get down and dirty if you had to, but also you mitigate the situation to where you're just like, look, like you said,
I would rarely ever. Okay, not. I know what I'm capable of, and I know how scary it can get, in terms of like even just in general. Imagine me fighting someone to the death. That's bad, and that's something that can really happen out in real life. So you want to do everything you can to get in front of that, right? And so like I don't want, as much as I can and I like could, and fuck that. I want to learn, like that's where getting down to the human element foundationally, like the salesperson of me or whatever goes in those moments and be like, dude, why are we here? Like we're not here to fight. We're here to literally have, and I've said that a lot of times. Like we're not in security aspect and we're out in the club and like, dude, you didn't come out here to fight, did you? Dude, let's just move on, do your thing. Like nothing happened. Like I promise is better. Like, okay, you're right. Like that's usually the response. Like it's rare when someone's actually looking for something. Like that's what I'd rather avoid, because I know where it can get to, and I've seen even in myself. I'm like, oh damn, sure. Or there's moments that I've seen other people and it's like, damn, there's no coming back from that.
yeah,
You know, and that's the way you don't want to get to ever.
yeah, true.
You know, strong men. You got to know how to control your strength.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think I was getting at was like, you know, people just see how big you are, and it's one thing to just be like, all right, you're security now, but like mentally, are you prepared to be security and what all that entails? You know what I'm saying? Like if someone gets rowdy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to just be like, I'm a big person, so all I got to do is exist and just walk up to the situation and be like, hey, we got a problem. And you think you're hoping they're going to be like, they see you and they're like, I don't want no problems. My bad. I'll chill. But then you have to remember there are some people that just test the limits and they're like, I'm down to fucking fight tonight. I'm down to get thrown out of here. And you as a security,
You gotta be ready for it.
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming I would say a small percentage, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Is it smaller that you got into actual fights, physical fights, than you did just like escorting people out? Like majority of the time they were just like
Most of the time
cool.
it was escorting. I rarely had to put my hands on people,
Yeah.
and when I did, you could tell them trying to almost test. Like there's times that they'd come up and like they'd grab me and they'd be like, and they'd back up again.
They're like, oh, you're solid. Oh,
yeah, like
hey.
it's like they try to test you, but that isn't my main goal. Like realistically, every time I would go in for security, my job is to make sure everyone that's working there and everyone that's like eating there for their family, they just feel safe,
Especially being
regardless
head
of what it
security.
is. Yeah, and like sometimes we have these weirdos that would come in and they like wait there for the bartenders and like when they off, like type shit. So I like walk them to their cars, like not that I had to, but like making sure that they feel you feel good to come to work, feel good to leave. Anybody like that you feel like, and even I think even if I wasn't working and I saw someone in distress like that, I definitely would do something. Be like, all right, let's go. Like I got you. Like, but like it's one of those things that even if people don't notice it, you just got to be that person if that's who you are. And I wanted to make sure it was consistent across the board for everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, but that's the cool part about that is that on top of that, it opened doors because okay, and going out and being a dude, like most guys are like, where the girls at? And like, I've never really been like that, but I usually always hang out with girls. And because like I think partially is like the security thing, like they're comfortable around me. We end up going out and like I built this group of friends and they're just always around and hanging out and they're comfortable and they're cool and they feel safe and it's a good environment. And usually I'm like pretty chill, I'm not like overbearing on shit. So
Yeah, I would say in my experience of going out and like being young and going out to bars and clubs and stuff and seeing security guys, big guys and stuff, like yes, they can be big and buff and tough and stuff and all this stuff. But at the same,
be a freestyle right there,
huh? Big buff and tough and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I was going on a roll. No, but like I feel like I've seen them and I'm like I get why they're popular in the club scene because they're known as they're the safety. You know what I'm saying? Like if as long as you're with that guy, you know what I'm saying? Like off and off the job or on and off the job. Like this guy's just such a protector of a person. He's a cool person. He can be like, you know what I'm saying? I something about him. I trust this guy at the club. If something was to go down, I could like get near him and be like.
that does shoot me in the foot sometimes though.
I can see that.
It comes across for a lot of people, even people that maybe I shouldn't be around. So like, but those are sometimes the most fun people. So I end up like
You gotta take it the good with the bad.
exactly like I end up in cool random situations or places, and I'm like, never in my life that I think I would be here, but I'm glad I am. But I need to go home. like you know, like it's one of those things that like I've learned to just manage who I bring around because like that can lead to a lot of just I'm very yes man type of shit. So like I rather how do I
Live
say?
for the experience.
Yeah, like not even say live for the experience. I think at this point now that I'm about to be 30 in a few months, like filter out what's really for me rather than just being like, yep, let's do it, or that's just how they are, so fuck it. Like being more critical, holding people accountable type of thing, you know?
Yeah, that just comes with maturity and age, so that makes sense. Yeah,
You know, but
that's good, man. Well,
it's letting me just some good people. I mean, look at you.
you think I'm a good person?
So far.
No, man. I'm gonna say, I've obviously Caesar, Sage. These people that listen don't really know them well until I introduce them. They know Caesar. They know of Sage now because.
Yeah.
But if you guys are listening or watching or never, but like it's funny because I do have a plan very soon. So if I'm not mistaken, I think next Sunday you got to be ready. I want the trifecta. I want Caesar, Sage, and Edgar all on one episode for episode 199.
That's gonna be.
We're about to hit. We're getting toward. We're getting to. For myself, specifically, we're getting to a point where I'm about to hit 200 episodes.
Ooh, nice.
I did it all myself. I mean, I did have a co-host at one point, but I'm saying like I've gotten myself to this point, so I'm celebrating myself with 200 episodes, and we're getting closer. I think I love that I had Sage on at 190 something. I'm having you on at 198, I believe.
Oh, dang.
And it's just
right before.
It's pointing towards like growth because of just the people I know you guys are, the businessman you are, the person you are, the friendship you guys are. And I want you guys to know, like, inviting Sage on, I don't invite you guys on because of the type of businessmen you are, because of the networking you do. I've genuinely only met you as just, we hung out one time, and I was like, I really like hanging around that guy.
Yeah.
You've hung around with me, my girl, my family. You've hung around my kid. And we just all love being around you. We love being around Sage. I love Caesar. Caesar's probably the main component to connect me to all you guys. And I've always, and from the moment I met you guys, I mean, we know Sage with his adventures of housing and rental properties and plumbing business, and it makes sense why you and him are roommates. If we could bleep that out if you don't want, but like,
No.
if you guys don't know, my last guest, Sage, this is his roommate. They live together, but it only makes sense. They're both very successful people in what they do. They have a drive towards successful business. I'm just saying this as a whole, but like they just have a drive of being just successful in their business, and it only makes sense. They're roommates. They're really good friends. Like I said, my girls met you guys, and they're just like, it makes sense why you're friends with these people. They're fun to be around, but at the same time, when it comes down to being serious, they can be that way. And like they're only, It's almost like I finally met someone where it's like I can have a great time, be drunk and trashy with these people, but also but also I'm not picking the wrong friends where it's like, do you want to go down this path? I do. I want to go down this path with these people because we have a great time, we party hard, and we fucking work harder.
It's
type
exactly
thing.
What you need.
Yes, man.
Balance.
And I love that with you. I love that with Sage. I love that with Caesar. And I'm very grateful to have met you guys so soon. And that's why I really wanted to push you guys towards like kind of highlight of my podcast. I'm getting towards 200 episodes, so I want to put you guys towards that point. I didn't think it was right to put you guys at episode, 176 or 120 something. I was like, no, I wanted to get close to this point where I've been doing this for so long. I haven't really gotten far, but something about this year feels like this is my year. And not so much to maybe blow up, but to progress to, like, I feel like I've just been, what's the word? I've plateaued. And this is the year where I'm like, okay, I'm going to get to the next level. Yeah. Meeting people like you, having the conversations I've had with you and the things you have gone through. I'm glad that I met you at this point to continue this podcast, to hopefully bring a new wave of audience and stuff. But real quick, before we go, because we're going to go soon, but before we go, as a collegiate football player, what is one football movie or TV show that you think let's just say what's your favorite like sports movie? Like what's something that really portrays the brotherhood of either high school football, college football, whatever? But
I'd say one thing that always stands out, especially like it was shown to me in high school and in college throughout the trips.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights.
The movie or the show?
The movie.
Yes.
Booby Miles, all these that
it was real. That
I feel was the most. It projects it really well. There's no fancy equipment, no fancy school. It's just dogs, I think that's my favorite. That's my favorite because it brings all these people together in a way that no one really expects.
Dude, not that when I was in high school, my goal was to move in and do college and NFL and stuff. But in the time, I did have that. My dad did ingrain that mindset of like, get hyped, watch or listen to something that'll hype you up in the moment. And I remember when I played football in high school, I wasn't big into NFL. Like I didn't really watch Sunday football. I thought it was boring. I'd rather just play the sport, whatever. One thing that really got me hyped about like game day or practice was Friday Night Lights. There were certain scenes that I would watch. I loved, and I thought Friday Night Lights was. What am I, Asian? Friday Night Lights.
Friday.
But I thought Friday Night Lights was the most like closest to high school, to where it's like the hype of the game, the small town. Everyone's like, yeah, oh yeah, like my town might not be the greatest, but like my high school football team. You ever heard of them? It's like that. Yeah. I kind of got that sense when I was in high school, and yes, Friday Night Lights was always one that I would watch. I think one of the big ones I think was when they played the main game in the Astrodome.
Oh yeah, against the crazy.
And it was like the last 5 minutes when Mike Winchell, when he's about to cross about to get into the end zone with the ball and wrap it, and they fucking rip his helmet off and stuff, and they disrespect him, kick the helmet into his chin, bust his chin, like all that stuff. Like just that moment, I remember that was what I would watch before a football game to hype me up. So that's why I've always wanted, like, especially with you, like, into college, like I know just high school level, I was at a point where I was like, what'll hype me up? What will get me into that? So
yeah, I do that with everything, man.
Yeah, that.
Like I feel like you gotta learn your hype music, your hype track, whatever it is that gets you pumped.
Yeah.
Dive into it.
Yeah. For sure, brother. Well, man, we've been going for some fucking time, and I promise you, I know and you know what, I'm getting close to 200 episodes, so I can say this shit now. I know I've told a lot of guests, you have an open invite and you can come on whenever you want, and they never either reach out to me or they do and I don't want them back. But I'm telling you right now, brother, please, I need you back on. There's so much more I know we have not covered. There's so much more we covered in this episode alone. And I've learned so much about you because, like I said, we've known each other for some time now, but we just kind of bullshit and talk stuff. I mean, and you're an outside thinker. We could get in, and if you guys don't know, we can get into conspiracies with this, guys. And we've talked about things that I'm just
you gotta be careful out there these days, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I'm very glad you finally came on. I think this was just the introduction to who you are. And from here on out, you can just be like a reoccurring guest that we can have on to just, yo, this event just happened. What are your thoughts? You're very articulate in your thoughts and what you're saying. You're not just blabbering. You totally make sense in what you're saying. It does take some time to understand you, but when I do, I'm like,
it's like Kanye, bro.
It all
It's like,
comes around.
I'm like, I'm over
circle.
here hitting all these different things, but I appreciate you for sticking there with me.
No, for sure. You definitely you bring it around. It all comes full circle. But where can we find you before we go? If there's any resources you have out there, I know you have your business.
Yeah, I mean Instagram, Edgar G4. If you need me for
I'll post it
commercial
right here
business,
as I always do.
Relup.co, look them up, or Lone Suite if you need anything in town. But appreciate it.
Yeah, brother. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode. This is episode 198. And it's funny because I think this is the first or second or third time that I've had one guest on, and you're about to be on the next episode. So next Sunday, you got to be available. We're doing 199. We're going to have Edgar, Sage, and Caesar.
I got more than enough to say.
Let's go, baby. All right, brother. Well, thank you for coming. I love you so much, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man. We're out, guys. Thank you. Play the song. Normally, if I had a thing, it would play a song, but post a song plays.
Sick.